when I get the notification.
Yeah, because if you copy and paste, it takes over my thing. You are good now.
Okay, thank you.
Actually, no, you're not. Never mind. Give me 2 seconds. All right, you're green. Thanks,
Okay.
honey. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. Thank you for the happy birthdays. Good to see. Hope everyone is doing well today. Hope it's a good day. We've got a huge show. We need massive shares on Twitter and Facebook, if you would not mind. It's Olivia and I tonight. You'll be spending my birthday with us, and we can't think of a better place to be. Well, I don't know, maybe the Mill.
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
Maybe that place in Houston we stayed at. Well, an Avalanche game. Maybe a Def Leppard concert. There's a lot of places we would rather be, actually. We completely were not being honest. But we're here, and that's got to be good enough. Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. Tonight we're covering a whole bunch. I'm not going to be able to list it all. We're already a little bit behind, so we'll see you in 3 minutes. See you on the other side.
It's Red Friday, RED Friday, which stands for Remember Everyone Deployed. A movement designed to honor veterans and deployed U.S. troops by wearing a red shirt every Friday. As simple as that may be, Red Friday is a great way to back those who serve our country. Go to dumbshow.com and search for Red Friday to get your red on.
What's up, everybody? It's Ryan Weaver. I am on the Don't Unfriend Me show, otherwise known as The Dumb Show, with host Matt Spear. You guys can find the show at The Dumb Show on social media or thedumbshow.com.
Adjusting transmitter output. Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
Thanks, everybody, for the birthday wishes. I appreciate it. I think this is our 1-year anniversary with Wimkin. I think it was right around my birthday.
It was right around your birthday.
Right around my birthday. So happy 1-year anniversary with Wimkin. And that's pretty exciting. I mean, that's pretty cool. If you have not stopped by Wimkin, please do so. Go to wimkin.com, sign up. They are our gold sponsor, and they are always our gold sponsor. And honestly, I can't imagine that they're not going to be for the rest of time. We're pretty big fans of them, and I think they like us once in a while. Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. It's, let's get it over with. Rip off the Band-Aid. It's my birthday, 51 years old. I don't feel 51, and that's good enough for me. Liv, do you feel 50?
I'm not 50.
Are you close enough?
I'm 45. I got another 5 years. Thank you very much before I turn.
Yeah.
I'm in my
Yeah. Let's not let anyone do the math, because then they'll figure out that I robbed the cradle.
I already know you did.
Yeah. Got a good show tonight. We got a lot to talk about. I just want to I'll rip off the Band-Aid also. Last night was the first time we haven't hit goal in almost a year as well. When we left Spreely and went on Wimkin, Facebook also hit us too, and we stopped, being able to make money on Facebook. So last night was the first night. So honestly, that's not a bad thing. It's a new full year cycle, and we can move on and go from there. So I just wanted to let people know. Several people asked me, did we hit it? No, we didn't hit it. Now, if you wanted to go ahead and take something we got in the mail today, and then yes, but we're not going to play semantics. Let's just move on and start a new streak and go from there.
And if you can't tell the goal, it's $510 tonight.
I can't tell. It's a little small.
That would be $10 for every year of your life.
Is that the math?
That is the math.
That's a whole lot of money.
Now, here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
My goal for my birthday was 450 because I turned 45.
Right, but you lied.
But
should have been 40. Should have been 480.
I'm actually 25, but that's okay.
Right. Uh-huh.
But I raised $1,000 for my birthday.
That's because you're hot. So whatever.
Dummies.
Don't.
Being the head dummy in charge, we should show them how much we love them.
If you make this about me, versus you, I'm gonna lose. I cannot possibly compete with your splendor. So
you can't compete with my good looks, but your brain is definitely more on me.
Did you just say my brain's a moron?
No, your brain.
You just said I think
me.
I think we should play back the tape.
No, I said more on me, more than me.
No, I heard moron, and I didn't hear anything else. I said my brain's a moron. That's okay. It's whatever. I'm getting old, so time to trade me in for a younger model. Yep. We have a whole bunch to cover tonight, and it always seems like we have a lot, but we've got a lot now. And listen, the tariffs is on everybody's mind. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, everybody. I see everybody's birthday wishes. It means a great deal to me. You are the best in the biz, and we love you. Everybody wants to talk about tariffs. Matt, how do you feel about $3,300 shaved off the NASDAQ? I couldn't care less. I could not care less. Because here's why. Because I really do believe that inventory. Tamar Bush, $10 starting us off.
Getting it started.
First one in. Tamar, $10. Thank you so much, Tamar. So I don't believe this is a permanent thing. Second, I don't have any money in 401k. I sold all my Apple stock and all my NBC Comcast stock and anything else I did because the market fluctuations were too severe and I wasn't going to risk on my family. So there will be a time, but it's not now. And I don't care. I don't care if somebody who has a 401k, 2.5 million, 3 million, I don't care if you just lost a, $10, $15, $100,000, you're going to get it back. And you've seen the market dips before. And if you have all your investments in one thing, you're making a mistake. Are you hearing the fluctuation? This was in my recording today. It's driving me crazy. But my voice is going high and then low and high. It's horrible. It's driving me up the wall. I got to restart, folks. Hold on. Yeah, it's driving me up the wall. You got to restart. It happened last night.
Oh.
That's how bad it
Play
is.
some music so they.
What?
You should play some music so they've got something to listen to.
Play some music. I can't.
Oh, this is not on.
Yeah, nothing will come through. Oh, it's going in. All right, let's see if I can get this going. All right, let's see if that works. Test 1 2, testing 1 2. Liv, give me some talks.
Testing.
Yep. All right. That looks better. Thank you, Vincent family, 2625. Happy birthday. We appreciate it. Thank
That'd be
you.
Mama Judy and Bam.
Test 1 2, test 1 2, testing 1 2, testing 1 2, testing 1, and to the 2, to the 3, to the 4, to the 5. It's doing it again. Gosh, I hope. I'll try a firmware update when I get done, but it's driving me up the wall. Well, we sound tinny because we had the mics off. We don't sound tinny anymore.
I don't hear it. Maybe it's just you because you're so in tune to the sounds.
Now you're loud. What does that mean?
Sound 5x5.
Yeah, 5 sounds good now.
Yeah.
That was my Mac computer picking us up. So.
Oh, I didn't realize
Well,
that.
yeah, when the mics go off here, it picks up the
I
Macs.
didn't
That one
know
time that
that.
the mics went off and we had sex, everybody heard it.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
okay.
So,
that's awesome.
It's good to know.
Okay.
All right, now we can get into it. Anyway, so listen, 401k, I feel bad if you've lost some money, but you've lost money before. And the one thing that you've heard it all. Fox is talking about this, and, Market Comp is talking about this, and Forbes and Wall Street Journal. So let's just get this, let's just put it where it deserves to be put, to bed. This isn't his first trial run with tariffs, folks. He did it before in 2017, and he did it against China, and they worked. So he took our largest deficit and our largest trade partner in China at the time and went ahead and placed tariffs on them, and it had a positive impact. Now, there was a short-term windfall, but in the end, this is why the Democrats kept the tariffs on China. So if you look, Vietnam was one of our largest trade partners. Vietnam imports a ton of stuff, a metric buttload of stuff.
Half the clothes people wear from Vietnam.
Surprisingly enough, and they don't even know it. I'm going to fix your color.
I'm a porcelain doll again.
I don't know why it keeps here.
I just need some sun.
There you go.
I'm a vampire. I just need some sun.
No, we just need you to get a little more blackish.
Black.
So you need to watch that show. There, it's better. You look good now. You always look good. You even look good like a porcelain doll. Your skin's like like vanilla milk. It's been a week, hasn't it? Moving on. So it's, the weekend's here. Go figure.
And it's your birthday.
It is. Like, I just like to continue the way the morning started and then was rudely interrupted by thunderstorms.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, what the frack?
Ethan didn't hear him. Woke me up in the middle of the night. I was a little worried Ash was going to hear it because I know a lot of dogs.
She slept through it.
Don't like thunder.
She doesn't care. She's just scared of a brush. What a puss. Like, I brushed her and she's, oh my God. All right. Anyway, too much information, Matt. Well, that's what we do. All right. Nice to catch everybody. Matt Demo says, loving every minute. My understanding is it's temporary. Yeah, it is temporary because the goal isn't to keep tariffs on. The goal is for countries to remove tariffs. Now, Mexico's already come to play. Canada's come to play. Vietnam's come to play. Other countries will come to play. And it's driving me crazy. I got to fix it. Like, either I fix it or I shut down the show because I can't stand this anymore. Test 1 2, test 1 2. Maybe it's the volume on my headphones. Hello, test 1 2 1 2. I got to find out what's going on.
It could be your headphones.
Nope, not my headphones. Nope. Advanced processing. We're going to go ahead and clear it out of there. What it is it's fluctuating. You can hear it in my voice. Like, my voice is very bright and poppy, and then it goes. Oh. Test 1 2 1 2 test.
That sounds good.
Hey everybody, this is Matt from the Don't Unfriend Me show. Oh, that's much better because that's
Yes.
my setting. Somehow it got turned on to broadcast.
Oh,
And that's not the way it works.
sounds better.
Thanks. Well, my voice should sound pretty good. Matt needs a Snickers. Why? Why do I need a Snickers? I'm not in a bad mood. What the hell are you implying, Debbie? The hell's your problem? No, I don't need a Snickers. I'm in a great mood. Everything's fine for now. All right, let's go. We got too much to do. But I think that's better. Maybe is that better?
Yes.
But what it was doing this. So it's like I'm talking. It's doing it again.
I think it might be your headphones because I don't hear it, and your headphones have been giving you crap.
It was in the
anyway.
recording. No, it's in the recording. It's not.
Okay.
It's in my recording I did this morning. Like, watch. You'll be able to hear it here. Let's do this. I was going to show you guys this video anyway. Let's just watch this real quick, and then you can see it. This was in regards to the quick video I did today. And if you wouldn't mind listening, Libby.
Yes, I did watch it earlier, but I will listen again.
Well, that's why I just want you to listen to this and tell me if you hear it. Here it is. For decades, presidents have abandoned our country. They've made backdoor deals that don't benefit Americans. They've went ahead and sold us to the lowest bidder. They've supplied rival countries with weaponry and had proxy wars that drain America's hard-earned money. Whatever, maybe it's me, because I didn't hear it there. It might be my phone, or maybe I'm just retarded. I think that's probably it. Retarded works. Okay, so let's get into topics. We've got a big show. It's going to go long.
Well, you are 51, so.
Yeah, funny. So it's going to be a big show. Is it a crime or is it not a crime? And this is in regards to a police chief who had some things to say in regards to the Democrat incitement. And the way he made it sound yesterday was that the people who were being attacked were obviously victims, but the people who were doing the attacking were victims of Democrat leaders kind of brainwashing them. And I'm like, he made it sound like he was making excuses for the people who were doing the attacking on Tesla. Today sound very different. Take a
Bloomington
listen.
Chief Hodges here.
And Booker T. Hodges. No, he doesn't have a TV show. You guys remember? You remember that TV show T.J. Hooker with William Shatner? Do you remember that, Liv? T.J. Hooker.
I know it, but I don't
Yes.
think I ever watched
Where
it.
he
I remember
rolled
the
over
name
the
of it.
top of the squad car, and T.J. Hooker, man, absolutely. Here is the video. Watch this.
Bloomington Chief Hodges here. Showed you this video last week of this person scratching his Tesla. And like SpongeBob said here,
1 day later.
thanks to everybody's help, we were able to identify them. The suspect here is a woman in their late 20s. They turned themselves in. They were brought in with their family. They've been
We're in deep trouble. There's no way we're going to hit our goal. I'm just letting you know. This is not going to happen.
fully cooperative.
Like when we did you were already up. Like you got it in like 20 minutes, like half. Yeah, so we're not going to get it tonight.
The victim in this case just wanted their car fixed, and they just wanted the suspect to pay for that. Based on the totality of the circumstances here,
Thanks, Tina.
and along with our core value of being compassionate, this is the best outcome for everybody involved in this case. But let me be clear here. Bloomington, you probably have never heard me utter these words. The suspect in this case may have been a victim. And I mean victim in terms of the rhetoric that is being spewed out here by some of those in leadership. We need our leaders to start leading and stop feeding this rhetoric. People should be able to drive whatever car they want without fear of going into a store and someone scratching their car or people yelling at them because of the car that they choose to drive. It's time for all of us, just start getting along and knock this stuff off, man. People should be able to be left alone. But rest assured, if you damage these cars or target people, we are going to arrest you. We are going to prosecute you to the fullest extent that we're able to. But in this case, I'm going to go back to, based on the totality of everything with it and our core value of being compassionate, and ultimately what the victim in this case wanted, because the victim in this case is the most important. This is the best outcome. The victim has already been made whole in terms of being paid, and the suspect in this case, we're going to hold those charges over their head just to ensure that they don't do anything similar to this in the near future.
Okay. His sound quality sucked at the end.
Yes, it did.
So, Suzanne, happy birthday, Matt. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate you. Liv.
Yes.
So I need you in the show.
Yep.
So what do you think about what he said? So
I think it's a bunch of bull crap. I'm sorry, but they're not victims. I understand that you're brainwashed by the leadership and you choose to follow them. But you know what? I was 2 when I learned the difference between wrong and right. And then I was every year after that. My parents knew to teach me. And in kindergarten, you're taught it in school. In first grade, you're taught it in school. And you know wrong from right. You know you're not supposed to touch other people's property. I guarantee at some point they tried to take another kid's toy when they were a toddler.
Right.
And hope to God their parents said, no, you can't take that. That's not your toy. It's their fault. It's their fault for being stupid. They know right from wrong. They know exactly what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're going to blame the Democratic leadership and the mainstream media is telling me to do this, then that is a cop-out and they deserve to go to jail. Maybe a mental facility, because anyone who is an adult and blames them blowing up a Tesla or scratching somebody's car or doing something like that out of malice and blames somebody else and says, somebody told me to do it, no, you need your brain checked. I have absolutely no sympathy for any of them.
Thanks,
Period.
Dan. Appreciate it, buddy. And everybody who said happy birthday. It's insane. I can't say thank you to everybody. So I will just say thank you to everybody in one shot and continue to thank you when I see them pop up from now on. Listen, I think I understand what this guy is trying to say. He was trying to pivot and blame Democrats, but the easiest way to say this was simple: is not only are thank you, Joanne. Happy born day, Matt. Appreciate it. Not only, see, I lost my train of thought. Can you not do that when I'm?
Yes, sorry.
It screws me. Yeah, I just gotta wait.
Okay.
So I don't know what it's gonna say. Doesn't matter.
I apologize.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be one of those nights. I can feel it. I don't know what I was gonna say. Yeah. Well, you said it all, so that's good enough.
Sorry,
No, it's not your fault. You can't do that when I'm talking because I can't function. My brain, because I have to stop and say thank you, and because you yell at me when I don't say thank you, so I can't do both.
I will wait till in between.
Yeah, I know, but
segments.
you've been doing that a lot lately. Like whenever a video's playing, you'll play it. I'm like, why? What are we doing?
In my defense, it's like a 30-second delay.
I know. So just I don't know. We got to figure it out because it's hard for me because my ADD. I can't stay on track.
And you know what? Last night that was a mistake because
it's
I
okay.
wasn't watching the show. I just heard your voice talking.
Listen,
I didn't realize it was video.
It is a blessing to have any donations, but it's hard when my ass can't. I mean, I'm 51 now, so I can't even find my car keys because I don't even have a car, and I looked for my car keys for 3 hours today. It was horrible. I was looking in the. Okay, so I think what I was. Maybe got it. Yeah. The easiest thing for this guy and what he should have said isn't that, oh, well, the perpetrators are victims. No, what he should have said is that there are more than one perpetrators in this. There are multiple people who have committed crimes. And of course, it is the person who has used the car keys and used Molotov cocktails, but it's also the people who are inciting this violence. Now, that's what he said. Am I not mistaken? He said Democrats, media, people who are perpetuating this are also criminals. Isn't that what he said?
I didn't hear that. I heard
I
more.
heard that.
I heard more along the lines of he's defending the people who are doing.
No, it was kind of rhetorical. I wanted you to say yes, but
Okay.
now we got to go back and listen to it because you didn't hear it. So here it is.
Of the circumstances here, and along with our core value of being compassionate, the suspect to pay for that. The victim in this case just wanted their car fixed. They were brought in, woman, and they were able to identify them. Judge Bob said here, The suspect in this case may have been a victim. And I mean victim in terms of the rhetoric that is being spewed out here by some of those in leadership. We need our leaders to start leading and stop feeding this rhetoric. People should be able to drive whatever car they want.
All right, so yes, he just said it really poorly.
Yeah.
You know, he said it really because it made it sound like, well, the people who caused the crime are victims, and that's a bad word.
Yeah.
What he should have said was there were multiple people who instigated the violence against this individual, and it's not just the person who physically did it, but there is a group of people in the media and politicians who are perpetuating this based on incendiary comments that are causing people to act. And those people need to be held accountable. And so if you're a cop and some of those people are in your jurisdiction, which is fair to say, right?
Yeah,
Then why aren't you arresting them?
exactly.
Isn't inciting violence a crime? Why don't you look it up? So that's the question. Is what is the statute and what is the crime? Oh, Mary, no, it is okay. It's just I can't. It's frustrating. You wait your turn to say something, and then you're like, your brain shuts off.
Yes, inciting violence is a crime, particularly when it involves urging or encouraging others to engage in acts of violence, rioting, or property destruction, especially under circumstances that create a clear and present danger.
Outstanding. So let's use an example of inciting violence. So how about two people who are in a relationship, and one of the guys is you've got one girl and a guy in the friend zone. And the guy in the friend zone loves her and will do anything for her, has some struggles with being on the spectrum, and girl encourages boy to commit suicide. And repeatedly, even when the child asks to get help and says, I don't want to do this, and she's like, no, you have to. You should do this. You should absolutely do it and finish the job. Is she responsible for manslaughter or second-degree murder or even first-degree murder as being premeditated based upon her interactions?
Yes.
And she was. And she was found guilty for it.
Yep,
So
she in jail.
So if somebody can do that, then why can't repetitive, very strategically placed innuendo and direction from these leaders telling people to do horrible things, why can't we go ahead and arrest Maxine Waters? Why can't we arrest these people who say that Donald Trump should be shot, that Donald Trump needs to be offed, that they imagine the White House blowing up? I mean, all these things that they said. Shouldn't Madonna be in jail? Shouldn't Johnny Depp be in jail?
Yeah, you would think, but it's a double standard.
Right.
It's a double standard. If you've got a D behind your name and you vote that way, then it's a double standard. You're above the law and you can do no wrong.
Yeah.
Including the politicians. So it's the party of do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah. Beefy, we can't do 30 minutes on the donation. We'll never make goal. Yeah. Unfortunately, if you don't remind, it's just people come in and they watch and then they forget, and it's totally cool. But we have to do it. We just have to be really conscientious of when we do it, right? Like Liv, all you got to do is say, hey, quick break. Hey, just quick point. And then every 5 minutes or so, I'm going to a new video or going to a new topic. So that's my point on this, is that we have an opportunity to hold people accountable. And in this new administration, we should.
I put that in like a minute ago when we were done. It was just, there was so much popping up. So I'm sorry. I tried to put it in because normally it comes in right away.
What is your major malfunction, numbnuts?
You are pukes. You are the lowest form of life on Earth. You are not even human fucking beings. You are nothing but unorganized, grabastic pieces of amphibian shit.
All right. So don't be sorry. It's okay. Anyway, so that's it. I appreciate the guy standing up there and doing his town hall, but how about somebody with some guts arrests one of these politicians who does this, and at least make an arrest,
or arrest a celebrity who is doing this?
Yeah. So listen, if somebody goes out and says, wow, I wish John Wilkes Booth would be around today to take care of, number 47. If anyone said that online, you're getting a knock from the Secret Service and the FBI. So if that's the case, then why aren't celebrities getting the same treatment? Why aren't these politicians? And why are they exempt from it? That's my issue.
That's the issue that everyone wants to know, because they shouldn't be. It doesn't matter that you have millions of dollars and you're a celebrity and people look up to you. It shouldn't matter. That should be even more of a point for you to behave yourself, is that people look up to you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Victoria says, I went to a dinner last night with a speaker named K. Carl Smith. I think it's Carl Smith, maybe. Or it could be K space Carl Smith, or it could be Carl. Like cuckoo, caca. He was speaking to the group of Frederick Douglass Republicans. I love the beliefs of the organization. He spoke of the values Republicans should focus on instead of always being on the defensive about our president and the Republican Party. Well, that's the one thing that I don't know if that's a critique on the show, and I don't think it is, Victoria. But I agree with you that we do a lot of that as Republicans, is we tend to defend and react. I try to be a little more proactive, but I go after liberals because they should be guilty by association. Like, as embarrassed as Republicans should have been from 2014 with the Tea Party and claiming Sharia law was coming to the U.S., the liberals need to be absolutely ashamed. We're going to talk a little bit about that tonight.
Incoming.
Okay, good job. There you go. And you even said it right. JD Stillwell, 5051, happy numerical transition day 5051. Very clever.
I like that. That was
I do too. Appreciate that. So let's thank you, buddy. Let's talk about this, right? Well, first I want to show you guys a feel good video. This makes me happy because I want to show you a little imagery. This is what's known as ISR. We've talked about ISR a bunch of times on this show. More than one incoming?
No.
That was last night.
No, that was earlier, and that is Streamlabs going crazy like it did last time, where it input three of them.
It's okay. It's what happens is the cell, we jumped off the window when it was open.
Oh.
So it just stayed there.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I reloaded it and fixed it. It's
gotcha.
no
I was like, I didn't even touch it.
That's okay. So Liv, what are you seeing here?
It looks like people lined up, like kind of almost looks like a footprint.
It's correct,
Okay.
or a protozoa, yeah. So it's or Mr. Peanut without the monocle.
There you go.
Without the monocle and the hat.
The hands and the legs. Yeah, totally.
It does.
Totally.
It honestly looks like salmonella under a microscope. Just to be, okay, so now that we've established what this is, let me tell you what it is. So let me ask you, just from some things you're seeing here, what time of day is it?
It looks like noon, like high noon or something, because it doesn't look like there's many shadows.
It's going to be about 2 o'clock.
Okay.
It's going to be about 2 o'clock or 10 o'clock, depending upon the sun. And if you gave me a few minutes, I could tell you that is to the west. So it's 2 o'clock. How do I know that? Ask me how I know that.
Because I already know. You just know.
Okay. Well,
I don't question you anymore.
Well, I can teach you something. Is if you take a look at the shrubs and the way that this shrub right here is growing, and
Which
right here,
one? Right there. Okay.
Yep,
Yeah.
you can see how it's extending and reaching out.
Uh-huh.
So there's two reasons for shrubs to do that. One is because they're reaching a water source, or two, they're reaching for more sunlight. So
okay.
What you're going to see is that this is more than likely a higher altitude, which means that the sun would go down earlier and rise at this horizon, and the bushes are pushing out and growing this way, which is the most exposure to the sun, which would make sense that this would be the east. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Rises in the east and sets in the west, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that would tell me that if the shadows are casting this way and the trees are going this way, then this way is east and this way is west. So this is the later afternoon. Does that make sense?
Yes, but I couldn't see your mouse where you were pointing.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Just look where the trees are growing. They're growing this way.
Your mouse is blue. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, we've established that this is east, and this would be west.
Got it. Okay.
And the sun would be here. That's why this is north, and this is south.
Got it.
Okay. And that also coincides with that most roads are north and south, especially in the Middle East. They do run roads east to west, but I'm just letting you know.
I would never have guessed that
but it's
this was Middle East.
But it's perpendicular. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
because you see how it's perfectly aligned with east and west, and this road is running this way.
Yeah.
So that would make sense that we found these directions probably correct. So
Got it.
we know that this road is running on the exact longitude here. So
Got it.
if this is due east, like we're anticipating right here, and this is due west, and this most assuredly would be north and south. Make sense? Anyway, point is, we're seeing that it's about 2 o'clock.
Okay.
And you can tell by these shadows. Okay.
Okay.
What else can we tell about this environment? And what makes you think it's not Middle East?
I wouldn't even know where.
Let me ask you a question. Do you see any grass?
I don't know. I've never read maps like this. I don't.
No,
even
no,
know
I
how to
understand it,
read
but
them.
you can tell the foliage.
Yeah,
and
I
the
can
you can
tell
tell
there's
the
some bushes,
and you can tell
and I can tell it's a tree.
Right, but what's this? Is it water? No, it's sand.
Yeah, it looks like dirt.
It's dirt. It's sand. And the reason how you know it's sand by the way it's moving, the way it's flowing, and the way the path of least resistance. Mud works very differently. Mud's going to have a lot of rock. It's going to have a lot of crevices. It's going to be completely uneven, where sand flows a little bit differently. So this is most assuredly sand, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you can also tell that the imaging itself, being in black and white, is something called FLIR, okay?
Okay.
So it actually is going to take heat sources to generate an image similar to IR, but it's two-tone. And it only works in contrast ratios, so of high whites and high blacks and everything in between. So you're getting a very, very distinct picture, but you can also tell that there are heat blooms all over this thing.
Got it.
You can see them all over hot rocks, but it also will tell you where the sun's at, because see how cool these rocks are right here?
Yep, that's north. Okay.
So what does that show us again? No, this is west.
No, that the parts that are cool, I would assume they're
west.
facing north. Right? Because that's where there's not a lot of sun.
They'd be facing east. Because the light is here. Look at the light source. Light source is coming this way, which means that the sun is over here in the west. This cool side is east, which also shows us, once again, that it lines up with what we're talking about with the growing of the trees.
Got it.
Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so that also extends and shows that, once again, we're right where the position of the sun is. So it's 2 o'clock, later in the afternoon. Okay. Now, who are these guys? What do you think? Take a peek. Just take a guess.
Well, it looks like one of them standing in the center.
Oh, so who's there? Now that a girl. See, that's what I look for from you. Who is it?
I would assume, being Middle East, some kind of worship or something. Maybe.
Well,
prayer.
if it was a worship, they'd be facing what? If it was worship, they'd be all facing what?
I have no idea. I don't know which way they face.
They face the sun.
Oh,
when you pray to Allah, you face the sun.
See, I didn't know that.
That's okay. So, and that's totally fine. But you face the sun. And if you're in England, you just do your best guess, because there is no sun shining in England. Okay, point. So now
Seattle.
Or Seattle, or a witch's butthole. So now that we've established this, that it's a group, who do we think this guy is?
Maybe like a shaman or the leader of the village.
That's
or
fair.
Whatever.
Fair. So this guy obviously is this focal point, and these people, and he is most assuredly probably walking back and forth and back and talking to this group. Would that be fair to assume?
Yeah.
How do we know this?
I don't know. It'd be assumption unless you do.
It's an assumption? All right, let's go ahead and watch. Let's see what happens. All right. So let's see what happens here. Okay, you ready?
Uh-huh.
So we're in real time, and you're seeing most of the group stay static. Now, what do you see right in the middle there? You see that little thing that's there?
Yeah, the sun, like yeah.
What is it?
Crosshairs. Crosshairs, yeah.
Right. So obviously this is a what?
It's going to be a terrorist organization of some sort, I would assume.
Right, and this is a drone.
Yeah.
And this is an MQ-9 Reaper, just to be exact. And don't ask me how I know it's an MQ-9. Just trust me when I say it is. And you're going to see the following. Watch. Bye-bye.
Boom.
Now, to my estimation, this is really easy. I would say, I'm going to look at this, 67 guys. You want to do the counting?
Oh, goodness.
I'm going to guess 67. That's just me watching this, that I'm going to say 67. Okay, are we ready? Let's do it.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I was wrong. It's 10 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
And it's flipped.
Okay.
I'll tell you. I'm not going to tell you how I know that.
Okay.
Just
No, I just trust you.
No, trust me. North is here, south is here, west is here, east is here. But it doesn't matter. It's still our presumption was correct in the regards of that it was either 10 o'clock or 2 o'clock. So it's in the morning, 10 o'clock.
Got it.
Okay, real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 20, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69.
And 70 in the middle.
Nope. And no, I already counted him when I came over. And 70, 71, 72. I was
pretty good.
3 off. Well, Thomas says 72. Yeah, well, you know what? I did pretty damn good for not counting.
You did.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Yes.
You probably sent a $125,000 missile into them, and you got 72 to 73 confirmed kills with one shot. Is that good?
Yes, I would assume.
Yeah, it's pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
Those are Yemenis. Houthis. Those are Houthis. And
Bummer.
you just wiped out a huge cell of Houthis. I mean, that's massive. So let's watch it again in real time one more time just for fun because, gosh darn it, it's a good idea. Here, let's see. Hold on. Okay, I'm going to press play. Here we go. All right. Oof. Let's see if I can time this perfectly.
None of them even knew it was coming.
No, they heard it. Let's see if I can do this. That's pretty good. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Incoming. Speaking of.
Okay. An incoming round. Here it is.
Good timing.
Tina Ford Savage donated $50. Now look at the crater. Liv.
I'm watching.
Now you see okay. Let me show you something. Okay. Do you see all of these?
Yeah, it looks like rocks, sand, debris, stuff like that. Or
Yeah.
human body parts.
Yeah. And some spot fires. And you can also see the trajectory of where it came in at. So it came in from this angle.
Mm-hmm.
This is north.
Okay.
North, south. So it came in from the east.
Got it.
Slightly. And you can also tell by the shadow of the divot. So it came in at a slight angle.
Got
so
it,
you're
okay.
probably looking at coming in at like a 17 to 20 degree angle. And then the explosion literally just blew them all to hell, but most of them this way. And these are all small spot fires. Here's a vehicle over here too, which it's up in the top right. You know what?
Okay, I see it. Yep.
These are the vehicles. These are going to get hit too, I promise you, but there's nothing left.
Yeah.
The size of this is probably a 1,500 pounder. That is a huge GBU.
Yep.
But it's not a GBU. It's not a GBU. It's a Hellfire. Just a massive. I mean, that's what the crater would be if it was a GBU. It's huge, but that also tells you it's probably desert sand because it's not hard and compacted, which is going to leave a larger crater. Hellfire is a wicked missile. That's it.
That's it.
See ya.
Bye.
Good.
Is this recent or archive?
This was 29 minutes. Well, it's real. It was only released like 29 minutes ago from the State Department. But yeah, it's pretty fresh. It's gorgeous. Yeah.
Incoming. Can I income now?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can income later.
That's funny.
So good. V. Robinson, happy birthday, Matt. Thank you, Victoria. We love you and you're the best. Thank you, guys and girls. All right. So something to think about, just something to brighten, just a little binger to brighten up your day. Tucker goes after Ben Shapiro and Morgan. Listen, I feel like this is a race to the bottom between Tucker and Candace Owens and everyone else who hates Jews. And I'll be honest, I don't think Tucker hates Jews. I think Tucker doesn't like Israel very much. But this argument bothers me because I think it's extremely myopic, and fairly petulant in its design. Listen to this and tell me what you think. What's your first reaction? Go ahead. Here we go.
If you're intentionally killing civilians, you probably shouldn't beat your chest and brag about it. You know, maybe you could make the
I agree
case,
with that.
Maybe you make the case that we had to do it or whatever, but you should.
I agree.
You should weep, and that's evil, and you should just say it's evil. And I know it's really threatening to.
Is it evil, though?
Ben Shapiro to say that or whatever, but
is it evil
to kill civilians on purpose? Yeah, it is. I think it is.
Really?
Kids and children. Well, how is it not actually?
In a war?
Well, you can call it whatever you want. How is it right to kill women and children?
I didn't say, well, because I think there is a moral right behind you if you are literally...
To kill women and children?
If there's a world war that threatens the entire... If it threatens the entire world? Yes.
Some people killed your kids, like your 8-year-old? Like,
well,
how
your
is
own
that
children,
morally justifiable?
Well, because actually you have to... Well, by your criteria...
It's disgusting.
Okay, so no war is morally justified.
I mean, I think it's pretty hard to justify... I mean, yeah, I'm
Any
sure...
war.
A pure defensive action, sure. But all I'm saying, look, it's all ugly. It's all hard to stomach. I've actually seen some of it up close, super ugly.
You can say that. You can say you hate it.
May I finish?
The fact you quibble with it being morally justified.
To intentionally kill non-combatants, women and children, I think we can say that's wrong. In fact, I thought that was the thing we were fighting against.
He's talking about Russia, right?
I think he's talking about Israel.
Oh, is he?
Mhm.
Oh.
Where are they anyway?
I don't know, but I'd like him to I would like him to condemn Vladimir Putin in Russia.
I would like him to condemn Hamas for what they did to Israel. I don't hear any of them condemning. They're all like, they're killing innocent women and children, but yet they didn't say anything about Hamas going in and kidnapping and killing women and children and young boys and everything else. No, Hamas is perfect, but Israel can't defend himself. So it's the double standard and hypocrisy, and it's just I don't know.
Sorry, I love the cat, but just get her on her perch so she can be seen up there. By the way, your fur looks lovely, even though you fought it like crazy, and I gave you a great brushing. Look at that mane. You look wonderful, Yenny.
She's beautiful.
Little shit. She's coming back. Okay, anyway. So, according to Tucker Carlson, his argument is that Israel is intentionally killing women and children. That's what he's saying. So the first thing I would like to see is empirical evidence of that. Now, I have done this many times to everybody here, is I can look at every single military action in the last 172 years that has been tracked and has been recorded from enemy combatants to civilian death ratio. And I will tell you, even by far compared to the United States and Iraq and Afghanistan, Jews are killing at a far lower rate civilian casualties and doing whatever they can not to kill civilians.
And it's because they've openly said, we are going to hit you. If you are not out by this time, then you are considered a combatant, and I'm sorry. There's not much we can do. I don't know many countries who are about to attack another country, whether it be on the offensive or defensive, that actually say, okay, if you're innocent, get out of the country because we don't want to hurt you. And you have 72 hours to leave. And if you're still
days.
there, 30 days.
30 days.
You've got 30 days to get out. If you're not out, not much we can do because we've warned you. I don't know many people, many countries who have done that. If I would say that Israel is by far, my God, Kat, Israel by far is the country that is honestly...
just throw her.
Yeah. There, she gets the hint now.
She doesn't care.
Is respecting the lives of innocent people.
Evelyn says, the only ones I cry for are the babies and the toddlers before they get indoctrinated in radical ideology. Do you agree? No. No, I don't. Why should they suffer eternal damnation for the actions once they're radicalized and indoctrinated to kill innocents? I'm sorry, but if my child was going to be reared into a terroristic, murderous cult of hate and intolerance for anything other than you, I don't know if I would want them to live. But what type of life is that? Do I think it's okay to kill babies? No, I don't. Do I think it's horrible? Yes. Do I have night sweats and do I wake up in the middle of the night for some of the things that we did overseas? Yeah. So I'm not one for those things, but I will tell you that there is an inherent evil in these countries.
Yes.
And they are not good people. And I don't know what to say except for this, that 91% of the adult-aged males and females, 18 and above, in Gaza, 91% believe that Jews should be eradicated from the earth. So those babies, although innocent at the time, will not be sooner rather than later. And the ones who have not fled for Egypt, the ones who have not fled for Syria, the ones who have not fled for Lebanon, the ones who have not actually matriculated into Israel, into different portions outside the wire of Gaza, they are now enemy combatants. So, war, this is why you should not attack a sovereign country. This is why you should not have lobbed multiple times over decades rockets into Israel, constantly trying to kill Jews and Muslims and Orthodox and Christians, because their rockets were indiscriminate. They killed anyone who got in their way. They blew up bars and they blew up areas. They blew up stations for military. They killed every race, color, creed, and religion. These people are not good people. And honestly, people say, well, don't you feel bad for the Gazans? No, I don't. Because at any time you could have risen up and exfilled Hamas. Now, the Jews, they created Hamas. And a lot of people don't understand that. But they did not create the terroristic side of Hamas. They did not, like many nations, including the United States with nation building, their nation building went sour. And they put a group of people who radicalized, militarized, and terrorized the region, and have been doing that since the 80s. Netanyahu and Israel wanted to create peace in Gaza and did what the West told them to do, which was to curtail their policy, to open their business, to open up funding, to donate money and food and infrastructure, and to try to make nice with them. That was one of the reasons why Abraham Accords were going to be settled, is that they wanted this to stop. And what happened the moment they were going to sign with Saudi Arabia? Iran perpetrated this atrocity on October 7th through Hamas, the Houthis, the IRGC, Hezbollah, JIP, and other terrorist groups. ISIS-K also will get into the picture sooner rather than later, and this is what we see. So Netanyahu and Israel have said, no more. We're done. We're done playing nice. We're going to wipe these people off the face of the earth.
As they should. I mean, they should be able to. So,
yeah,
my opinion.
Yep.
Incoming.
Yep. So that's it. So let's move on. Kathy Powell, $10. Happy birthday, Matt. Thanks, Kathy. But Tucker Carlson makes a complete straw man. And his point is that Israel's intent is to murder Gazans. That's their intent, to kill innocent women and children. And I will tell you that if war was so simplistic, it would be so easy to solve. But that's really not the way it is it? And for someone who's never been involved in a war or fought for their country, he speaks awful cavalier about what war includes. Because there are so many other reasons to prosecute a war: defense of your country, defense of your sovereignty, retaliation for an attack, to help and assist others, to stop crime and corruption, to stop a rebellion, to stop a blockade, to stop an embargo, to eliminate people who are taking hostages or people who are committing genocide. There's many reasons. The only reason for war isn't to kill women and children. And if it is, then why aren't you talking out again? Why are you going sucking off Vladimir Putin? Why are you pro-Russia, Russia, 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 but you won't sit here and condemn what Hamas has done? But you will out of the side of your mouth. Oh, no, I don't support Hamas. Yes, you do. Because that's the problem with guys like Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens. Oh, I'm just asking questions. What? It's America, right? I can ask questions, right? Can I? You can, but you're not asking the question to obtain an answer. You're asking a question to try to dissuade others from having conviction about something. How about this? Can we feel bad for Ukrainians? Can we feel bad for Russia? Can we feel bad for Israel? Can we feel bad for Gaza? Sure. We can feel bad for all of those things, but can we excuse evil? Does it not require evil to destroy evil? Because good has been trying to destroy evil since the dawn of time, and that hasn't been a success, has it?
You can only fight evil with evil, unfortunately.
And that's the truth. And you feel like, oh, no, fight fire with fire. Yeah. No, you use water and the fire will go out. You know what? How's that working against liberals? How's all the good Christians who don't cuss and don't get upset and don't let their blood pressure rise up and say, we'll pray for you? How's that working out? What did they do to our country in the 75 years that we've been passive? Yeah. So don't sit here and tell me that good overcomes evil, because it doesn't. That's a fairy tale. Sometimes, and if you ask anyone outside the wire, it takes evil men to stop evil men. But the difference between the people who are trying to stop these evil men is that they know when to turn it off and turn it on. And these are people who excel at violence. And they know when to flip the switch. And unfortunately, when they come home, it gets confusing. And this next clip will show us.
All right, incoming before the clip.
Do it. Amy Stancombe, $5. Happy anniversary of the day you escaped from the womb. Love you. Yes. And then escaped from her clutches shortly after. Oh boy, that woman. Woo-wee. Not so. We got a good show tonight. We got a lot to cover. We'll be right back.
The Dumb Show is built on real conversations, raw, unfiltered, and fearless. Big Tech didn't like that. Facebook pulled our funding, tried to shut us down. But for over a year, you, our incredible viewers, have kept us going. Your support, your donations, your time, it all matters. Most of you spend 10 plus hours a week with us. Compare that to Netflix, maybe 5 hours a month. We believe we're worth that time, and we hope you do too. But listen, we don't want giving to feel like a burden. We want it to feel good. So take a second to ensure you're in a good spot. If you're in a place to give, that will be amazing. If not, just liking and sharing helps more than you know. Visit thedumbshow.com/donate. Whether it's PayPal, Venmo, or mail, every bit helps to keep us going. Dumb Nation, we appreciate you more than words can say.
Would you mind turning off the fan, dear?
It's hot in here. It's like 80 degrees out there. Well, I know we fight fire to fight fires, and that was my point. Yep. We fight fire to fight fire. Thanks. Got a lot of people on tonight. It's great to see so many people on. Thank you so much. $283 out of a lofty goal that my wife set of 510.
Incoming.
Okay. Kevster, 2675. Happy birthday, young man. Thank you, Kev. Thank you very much. Thank you for the happy birthdays. Appreciate it all. This is a video. Now, this is interesting because this one created a lot of conflict in me, Liv. I want you to watch this one.
Okay.
because there was a time where this resembled me in a lot of ways. And I would blow up, overreact, and usually would result in violence to people who I took some sort of affront with and assumed that they were, disrespecting me or trying to harm me. And a lot of that was how I processed and disseminated their actions. Now, don't get me wrong. Pretty much every one of these people were assholes, but that doesn't mean that they deserved how I reacted. But like we were talking about, you come back in a place that your profession is violence, or you see violence, or you're surrounded by it. And when you come home, it's sometimes hard to adjust. Kat, you don't want to thank my mother for anything. She's a horrible human being.
She said for you.
No, I know. But you don't want to thank her. Just thank me for coming out, and then we'll call it good. I think her point was babies are not inherently evil. My brother is Lebanese, but he was not brought up that way. Right. And Lebanese isn't even close to the way Gazans are raised, or what they pretend are Palestinians. I know a ton of Lebanese people who are not terrorists. And although Hezbollah is the form of government there, not all Lebanese people believe the Jews should be eradicated. But there is a strong hate for the Jews in Lebanon. Let's not pretend. And most Lebanese people take serious affront. And although it's not as severe as Gazans, Lebanese people aren't big fans of the Jews. And this is generational. I mean, this is over, millennia that this has been taking place. So my point is that the Lebanese don't necessarily make that distinction when it comes to Hezbollah. They don't care about the youth of Israel. Nobody cares if children in Israel die. So I'm not saying that two wrongs make a right, but what I'm saying is it's kind of hard to make moral equivalency when the side you're killing has no value for human life. So it's kind of hard to make that moral argument of like, how can Israel do this? Well, because the other side does this. And if you don't kill them, they're going to kill you. And that's war, folks. That's the way it works. This video, this one threw me off. So this is the situation. This young man looks like he's on the Eastern Shore.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like a bridge. Yeah.
Yep. That's
Bridge
right.
over
That's
here.
right, honey.
Wow.
It's a bridge. No, it looks like the bridge, very much the Eastern Shore bridge that we go over.
Exactly.
So this definitely looks like East Coast from what I'm seeing.
That's what I was going for.
I know, Pumpkin, I know. So this kid's just fishing in a small boat. And I guess there was another boat up front, which would be up here. You know what? I need to increase my mouse size.
Yes.
Because this is driving you and me.
Because unfortunately, we cannot see
the
mouse.
I know, I'm working on it.
You might need to change the color too.
No, because when I change the size, we should be okay. I just need to get it bigger. Okay. Why is it not? Why is it doing that? Weird. I've always been able to come in and just do this. You reset the colors.
Yeah, reset the color.
Yeah, but
it's the size up there. I can't read what's on the screen, so
oh, you know what? Okay, hold on. This isn't a preference thing. Hold on. I got to fix it because I use that pointer so much.
Okay.
It'll just take a second. If you have one to do it. You get to say it.
Ms. Charity Lamb, happy birthday, Matt, 2110. Thank you, Charity, very much. Appreciate that.
Okay, there we go. Good. Okay, thank you, Charity. All right, so that's better. Look.
Yes, much better.
Okay, so here's the video. And so here's the situation. One fisherman was up over here.
Mm-hmm.
one guy's down low, and there is a charter captain who's basically taking out multiple clients out for a fishing cruise in eel-infested waters.
Okay.
And I guess the guy was coming through the channel and almost ran over another boat. And that boat said some things and supposedly didn't have his running lights on. And then this guy in the boat got lippy, and he's a young kid. So I want to get everyone's opinion on this because these altercations are not foreign to me. Let's listen to this.
What, like 5 in the morning?
Yep.
Yeah.
Busting me out?
Nah, that was the dude in that boat. Were you the one that came through the middle of the bridge? Was that you?
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, I was here, but you ran in front of the other dude over there.
You were cussing me out, dude.
Bro, you ran right through the middle of the bridge while we were all fishing.
In the middle of the fucking night, the guy didn't have any lights on.
Bro, we were all fishing here. The fucking.
He didn't have any lights on.
All right, bro. I'm not gonna do this with you, bro. I'm not gonna fucking do this with you, bro. Like, it's not the right time, bro.
You know the laws?
Bro, you can't come flying through the middle of the fucking bridge, bro.
Bullshit. Yes, I can.
All right, bro. What are you trying to do, bro?
What am I trying to
What are you trying to do, bro?
You want to fucking go?
I don't want to fucking go. I want you to get the fuck out of here.
Big tough guy?
Tough guy? You pulled up on me, motherfucker.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
What do you do about it?
Nah, shit.
Sorry for the language, folks. Forgot to tell you. There's some language in this, but it's guys. What do you expect?
Hey, I'm fishing, you fucking... Like, bro, get out of here. Like, what? What are you trying to do? Act like a tough guy in front of your buddies?
No, I'm not. Dude, all these motherfuckers know I'm tough, motherfucker.
Bro, all right, bro.
You know what?
Get going, bro.
We're all fucking war veterans. We're all Rangers.
Well, thank you for your service, bro.
And you're going to talk shit.
So right now, he said, we're war veterans and we're Rangers. Okay.
Right there.
Right there.
Ding, ding, ding.
You all, first of all, there's two things. One, if you're a Ranger and you're claiming being a war veteran and a special warfare operator, you're putting yourself in a massive amount of shit. One, because this person is a civilian. Two, you are trained to hurt him, and you've just told him that you can.
Yeah.
So you have just made a threat that you have killed people in war and that you're a ranger and that you will use those skill sets. That is now you have threatened him. In every state in the union, that is assault. It's not physical assault, but it's assault. So number one. Number two, you aren't a ranger. I'm letting you know I know a shit ton of Rangers, and you do not scream Ranger. And I have only heard one guy go, I'm a Ranger, bro. And that's Sean fucking Dodd.
Sorry.
And
I haven't heard that name in a while.
And Sean fucking Dodd is a douche plow. This guy's the guy that took freaking supposedly field photos of him pointing and calling out strikes and mortar teams as he looks off into some guy's underneath him with a roll and snap as he's pointing, and he's like, yeah, right here is when I'm calling in mortar strikes. I'm like, okay, G.I. Joe. Let's listen to the rest.
Thank you for your service, bro, but that doesn't give you the right. All right, bro. All right, whatever. I appreciate you for your service, bro, but you don't got to run through the middle of the bridge, bro.
Dude, if your guy doesn't have his fucking lights
That's
on,
not my guy, bro. That's just another fucking dude, bro.
you have to have lights on.
My lights were on, bro. My lights were on.
Hits you, guess what the fuck happens?
All right, so it's my understanding that this guy is claiming to be a Ranger. Someone else says he is a Ranger. That's not what I heard. I heard this guy was a PFC pay clerk. Which one is it? Donald says he is an Army Ranger and he does a lot of stuff for wounded warriors, but he went off the deep end. It's not the first time. Well, and then my info is along with Thomas. The guy said he was a combat veteran ranger in his advertisement and he was an E3 pay clerk. I think he had claimed to be a sergeant. So which one? No, listen, I've known some rangers that are real assholes, but most guys who, listen, ranger qualified and being special forces, Green Beret, being a ranger airborne, Totally different things. So most Army guys will tell you that Rangers, they're very prideful and they have every right to be. What they do is exceptional, just like SEALs, just like Force Recon, but they're not SEALs and they're not Force Recon. But Green Berets, they ain't no joke. And being an airborne Ranger or being Ranger qualified is different than working in Special Forces. Now, I'm not saying that this guy is a bad guy. I've told you openly before we even started, Olivia, who does that sound like in the past?
In the past.
In the past. Now, I don't know if this guy's an E3. That is what I heard. So it's important to me to get it right. So I will research and I should shut my mouth because if I don't know for sure, I'm breaking my own rule. But it's great that this guy does that for veterans. And it's great that but what he shouldn't do is go after some kid because, brother, either you got to get some help because what you do after this, I don't care how much you've done for this country. I don't care how much you've done for veterans. What you do right here, you had every reason to take a Mossberg to the chest. And you're so lucky that this kid, because what you did is called in maritime waters is called piracy. Because this is what you do. Watch this. This is absolutely piracy.
Nothing happens to me.
Right, okay, bro. Keep thinking that.
No, that's the fucking truth, dude.
All right, bro. Keep thinking that.
Put your fucking lights on.
Bro, my lights were on. I wasn't sitting there. Okay, that's not my dude, bro.
Fuck out for it.
Bro, I said, bro, you almost fucking hit him. The other dude was fucking cussing you out.
I almost hit him because he didn't have his motherfucking lights on.
Bro, you shouldn't come flying through the middle of the bridge. You know people fish here, bro.
There is nothing that this kid's saying that would instigate me and get me going. This guy's looking for a fight, and he
is. I mean, the fact that he was like, I wasn't the one cussing you out. My lights were on. It was the other boat, and he's not my dude. I don't know who he is. He's a complete stranger.
Should be enough.
It should be enough for him to go, okay, and leave.
No,
but
wait,
it's the fact that he keeps going after him.
Yeah, it gets bad. And this is most assuredly the Eastern Shore, right?
Somebody said Tampa.
Oh no, it would be Tampa. That's right. Because look, there's a secondary bridge right there.
Okay.
See that? Look at. That's not.
Oh yeah.
That's not on ours.
Yeah,
you're right.
Florida Keys.
Yep. I don't know. Tampa, Treasure Island, Tampa Bay. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm sorry, man. I don't know if that's what you want to hear, bro.
You got into sorry. Okay. This kid listen. He's cussed a little bit. He puffed up a little bit. He felt stupid. His adrenaline's going. And then he apologizes. Like right there, if you were in your right mind, you would have backed down, but you weren't. You want to fight. You want to knock this kid's dick in the water.
Hey, you should apologize, motherfucker.
But bro,
more than you can possibly fathom in your wild motherfucking dream.
Me too, bro. I'm out here all the time, bro.
I'm 300 days a year on the motherfucker.
Now read the body language of your crew. These guys who are on this charter, this guy right here, this guy here, and this guy here, they are all like, oh my God.
Fucking water.
All right, bro.
Every day, I'm the best charter captain you'll ever meet in your motherfucking life.
All right, bro.
If you cuss me out.
Chill, bro. Chill, bro. Please, bro.
Don't hit the fucking fire.
Please, okay, please, bro. Please, bro. Please, bro. Bro, I'm a kid, bro. Please.
Apologize.
Oh, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
You're gonna cuss me the fuck out.
All right, bro.
In the middle of the
no, bro. Please, bro. Please, bro.
Back to my boat.
Okay. Please.
Fucking apologize.
I'm sorry, bro. That was not me, bro.
Yes, it was.
I know I was here, but my buddy was on the boat.
Back to my
yes,
fucking
sir.
boat.
I'm a kid, bro. Please, bro.
I don't care. You don't cuss me the fuck out.
All right.
And talk shit to me, motherfucker.
Yes, sir.
You don't do it.
How old is this kid?
I'm sorry, man.
I've heard anywhere from 18 to 21, but listen, the kid weighs probably $130. I'm looking at him right now. His legs are skinny. My arms are bigger than his legs.
He should have turned super fast. The dude would have fallen off the boat, and he should have just gone away.
Yeah, and then get arrested for freaking attempted murder. I mean, this kid did everything right. He de-escalated. He said no. You could hear him screaming. Did you see his hand?
Yeah.
In the video, his hand was freaking shaking. If you look at it.
Yeah, this dude has every right to press harassment charges against this
It's not
guy.
a harassment. There's a lot more. But watch his hand right here.
I appreciate you for your service, bro.
Yeah, he's
but
shaky.
you don't get
And that's adrenaline. Okay. And anybody who's been in these altercations or shouting match something, that's just adrenaline. It's not that he's scared. His adrenaline's going.
out
Yes,
though,
you
bro.
were, dude.
I was driving the boat.
Did
Okay.
you not call me a fucking faggot?
No, bro.
Fucker.
Yes, sir.
You don't do it. There. You don't cuss me
Yes,
the fuck
sir.
out
All
and
right.
talk shit to me, motherfucker.
Yes, sir.
You don't do it.
I'm sorry, man. I wasn't like cussing you out
Yes,
though, bro.
you were, dude.
I was driving the boat.
Did
Okay.
you not call me a fucking faggot?
No, bro.
Yes,
that
you
was
did,
that was
motherfucker.
my friend on the. Okay, I'm sorry, bro.
That was your friend on the boat.
I'm sorry, bro.
See, so he's like, no. And then but this kid knows right now that if he doesn't admit everything and just try to placate this guy, he's going to get his teeth kicked in. So he's like, no, it wasn't. You know what? You're right. You're right. I'm sorry. He's just owning it all. And this guy's got a screw loose. And you know what? We'll talk about that in a second.
Does he get, is he like a charter fisherman where people pay him?
Yes.
And those are paying clients.
No.
Ooh.
I guess he was probably bringing them back to their boats or something because maybe they went to the dock. Maybe they, hey, let's go find this kid. But it's my understanding that those other guys were captains as well. I could be wrong.
Friend, I'll look at it and come
Yes,
on your
sir.
friend and fuck you both up.
Yes, sir.
Do it again and watch what fucking happens. Don't fucking do it again.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, bro. Like I appreciate
Your comments are showing up, Ginger. We see you.
y'all, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
Now the guys finally like, get on the boat, man. I mean, finally, it's like, dude, you should have stopped this to begin with.
Yeah, you shouldn't have let him.
The wrong motherfucker, man.
Bro, yes, sir.
Even at the end, the kid's like, thank you for your service. He tried, man. He tried. All right. So, couple of things. Good for the kid for recording. That's
Yeah.
smart.
Very smart.
Very, very smart. Number one. Number two, I don't care what you did overseas. You certainly can be understood. You shouldn't be forgiven, right? I understand what the guy's going through. No, I don't. I don't. Scratch that. I don't understand what he's gone through. And if he was a ranger and he was deployed and he's seen combat, then you know what? You can be understood but not forgiven for your actions. A lot of people sympathize and they empathize with where you're at. And I do too. I've worked with a lot of combat veterans. I have a lot of combat veterans I call for friends, and I completely am okay with people losing their shit from time to time as long as they get help and take account. And I hope he does. And brother, if you hear this and you're pissed off at me, cool. Call me. I've helped a lot of veterans on this show. But that's not the way, dude.
He shouldn't have gone off like that. I mean, it's like, if this was in a car, I mean, there'd be some other issues, but I mean, it's like somebody cutting you off, almost hitting you, and the person who almost gets hit flips the person off, and then the other person boxes them in and starts yelling at them in the car. I mean, that's just ridiculous. You were going too fast. You shouldn't have gone that fast. And when the dude said it wasn't me and I don't know the guy who did it, then he should have stopped. And honestly, I really hope that those people on the boat were clients.
Well, listen to this. The whole fishing community has told on the captain, the Coast Guard, and Fish and Wildlife are investigating. Plus, every local chapter is distancing themselves from the captain. He has a history of being an asshole, boarded the vessel uninvited, and bragged about being a vet while being a bully and breaking the law. It's currently being investigated by the Punta Gorda Police, Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission, and the Coast Guard, because this was in maritime water. So, and now you got the Coast Guard involved. So now it's federal.
Whoops.
Now it's federal. The U.S. Coast Guard released a message on Facebook. They are too investigating the incident right now and looking into it. It's my understanding. Hold on.
Sorry.
It's my understanding that he has been fired. and the company who he was working for and chartering for has officially released him with a statement. I'm looking for the statement.
Good. He should be fired.
Liv, go ahead and say.
Evelyn just said, I wonder why the other men stayed silent.
Because you don't, when you're there with a bunch of guys, and they probably didn't want to hear.
Here's
one of the other kids who was there. The charter captain's attorney, he's only sorry because he got caught. And this is what he says. The attorney representing charter captain Brock Horner just sent me this statement. As both Brock Horner's attorney and his friend, I want to address the recent video. First and foremost, Brock sincerely apologized to Gage, his family, and to anyone who is frightened or upset. Brock is not proud of how he acted, but it's important to remember we are not the sum of our worst day. That video captured one moment, but not the whole of who he is. Let me be clear. Brock is a decorated combat veteran who was severely injured in Afghanistan. Okay, so if that's the truth, earned multiple medals and suffered a traumatic brain injury in combat, he is recognized as 100% disabled. Well, if you're 100% disabled, why are you working on a fishing charter?
Exactly.
Let's see, this is why I gave up all my disability. Because of shit like this. Because I never wanted to be questioned for my disability and still continue to work. See, that's what pisses me off. If you're 100% disabled, and I understand it's 100% comp, but I've seen people who are 100% disabled, and then I've seen people who are 100% disabled comped, and they're two very different things. Blah, 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 blah. Here is a statement from
in the boat.
This is one of the other people that were on the boat with the captain who was screaming at the young man. Now, of course, they're going to be like, dude, I didn't want anything to do with this. I was trying to calm him down. I didn't hear anything, but here is this guy.
I didn't want to have to respond to this situation, but yes, I was in the boat. I was in the boat to film. I am not buddies with Brock or these guys. It was the first time I had met the three guys.
Thomas, don't worry about it. I heard the same thing, that this guy was admin. It doesn't matter. He's decorated vet. I don't care. It doesn't change anything. I know a lot of guys who have a lot of medals who are complete jagoffs.
In the boat, we told Brock not to confront the guy. He's a 22-year-old kid. We told him not to do it, but it happened and he went crazy yelling. If I could go back, I would say more. I do regret not saying more, but I just didn't want to be involved in the situation. I literally was just with Brock to film, to get content on tarpon fishing, and we didn't get any bites. I didn't get any content, and it just, I don't treat people that way. I don't react that way. I don't agree. It was a crazy display of temper that I've never seen. So I don't have anything else to say about it. I regret not doing more in the moment. But to the 22-year-old kid that got yelled at for not having his lights on, but it wasn't him apparently that didn't have his lights on. So I'm sorry.
Yeah, that to me is I respect the captain who lost his shit more than this fucking guy. This guy's just full of shit. You didn't say anything. You didn't do it. I regret it. He's kind of like the guys that are like, oh God, I really wish I would have joined the military. But here's why. The why guys. And all veterans know the why guys. And they want to tell you the story. Oh, I wish I would have joined, but here's why I didn't. And every time we hear it, we just go, eye roll in our heads. And you know what? I try to be cool about it. I go, hey man, appreciate it. But people serve in different ways. Just because you didn't serve in the military doesn't mean you can't give back to the military now. You can join a 501c3. You can go work with veterans. You can adopt a service dog. There's a lot of things you can do. Give money to 501s. But everyone knows the why guys, you know? And this guy sounds like a why guy to me. Oh, I would have, but I didn't because of this. You know what?
If you knew it was wrong?
Yeah, if it was wrong and you watched it, then you're guilty. The guy, he literally went on his boat, which is a crime in every single way. From attempted kidnapping. I don't think it qualifies for Grand Theft Auto, but it's maybe Grand Theft Bodo. It doesn't matter. And honestly, it's piracy because it's in maritime waters. So what you did is serious. And this guy has been fired and people are disavowing themselves. But here's the thing. That's not good for veterans. It's not a good look for veterans, and it shouldn't happen to veterans because this guy doesn't speak for us. Now, the last thing I will say about this, and then Olivia, you wrap it up, is that I also understand it. And that's what I said. You can't condone it, but you can understand it. And I've been there. I had a lot of hatred in my heart. And I went after people Olivia will tell you there's times where she was driving one way, another guy was driving another way, and somebody called her a C word. And we were going probably 15 miles an hour, and I jumped out of the car while it was moving and ran after a vehicle. And they slammed on the brakes, and 4 guys got out. And then they all got out and saw me running at them, and they all got back in, and they drove off. It's true fucking story. This is where you chime in and make me don't sound like I'm trying to be a tough guy and just...
No, it was very true.
Okay, thank you. Wow, thanks, Liv. Thanks for chiming in there.
Well, I'm not interrupting you.
No, I want you to, because this is like, people are going to look at... I guarantee everyone who just listened to that segment went over there and looked over at you like, is this true? And you're like... Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is that there are times where I've lost my temper, and I am a very loud human being, and I completely understand what this guy's going through. But dude, you need to get some help before you take a round to the chest, because I'm telling you, if I was on the boat with my family and you came at me like that, you would have been sleeping with the fishes. I most assuredly would have drawn down on you and put you down. The moment you stepped on my boat, you're done. You're done. You threatened. You said you were a ranger. You've been at war. The only reason to tell me that is to make sure that you understand that you could kill me if you want to. That's your threat. You step on my boat. Your intent is now to harm me. I'm going to consider you a threat. I consider it kidnapping. I'm unsafe. I can't get home. My family's in danger. I'm going to put you down. And you're lucky that kid wasn't carrying, especially in Florida where he could. He needs to get some help.
Yeah, he does. Hopefully it's a wake-up call that like the entire world has seen this and he realizes, oh, I do need to get some help. Because sometimes you need a wake-up call. So hopefully he gets the help he needs. But yeah, he deserves to be fired. He totally should not have done that.
Yeah, and that's not going to make him feel any better.
No.
And people ganging up on him, I'm not going to try to do that to him.
Yep.
A lot of people are coming out and trying to hit him now. 12 arrests since 2020 or since 2002. DUIs, battery. His criminal record's coming out. I mean, this guy's life is now this is why you got to be careful, man. You got to be careful. You can't, and it's sad. You can't, you're going to lose this fight. And all the stuff you did overseas doesn't matter when you do do stuff like this.
Yep.
It's just stupid. There's just no reason for it. And like I said, I hope he gets some help. I'm not going to try to pile on this guy, but looks like he's got a rap sheet. Looks like a lot of people knew about him doing this. And he's been arrested a lot. So time to get some help, time to get checked in, stop drinking, get yourself off the get yourself off the depressants. And if you're on SSRIs, get off of them, start clean living, start working out, and start talking to somebody. Get a battle buddy, man, because you need it.
Yep.
You need a battle buddy at home. All right.
Incoming.
Oh, good. Thank God, because my ego is just through the...
No, we've been on one topic, so I haven't put
No, but my ego, so... Judy Gurley donated $36.55. Happy birthday, man. Thank you, Judy. You're the best. Okay. Let's see, you can't win. When you put them on, I'm like, ugh. And when you don't put them on, I'm like, ugh.
Exactly.
Next video after this.
Join WimKen.com, the social media platform built for free speech and
Young
true
women
connection. No censorship, no algorithms controlling your feed, just genuine conversations and a commitment to protecting your rights. Sign up today at webkin.com and take back your voice. Tell them Matt and the Dumb Show sent you.
Donald Thompson says it's his company. Well, somebody has ownership stake in that company because the message that they released to the news media was that he was fired, unless that was fake. But it didn't look fake to me. So he may own that company, but somebody canned him who he has a relationship possibly with the dock, with maybe there's a charter company. I don't know, maybe there's a fisherman's union, but somebody canned him. I'm just letting you know. My brother 40 years ago joined the Navy, went into nuclear sub, retired 22 years later. He's got some good medals, always proud of our military, and it's sad our government doesn't take better care of them. Yeah, and that's a fact. Maybe somebody could say that 5 years ago, but since Donald Trump was in, the VA has gotten better. It's not perfect. It's not great. But it is better.
Incoming.
Thank you. Go ahead, babe. I'm reading something.
Sorry. Linda Clark, thank you. Happy birthday. $50.
Thank you, Linda.
Really appreciate it.
You are the best. I will try to find the note I got, but somebody separated ties with this guy. So that's all I know. Somebody said, we've had a relationship with this guy. We've all separated all connection, all ties. So, like I said, it could have been somebody in the Chamber of Commerce. It could have been some sort of union. It could have been whatever. I don't know, charter company, whatever. They've separated ties with him. Yeah, I mean the kid handled himself well.
Yeah, he did.
But there is a point where you just gotta work the problem. And honestly, hitting that throttle and a hard left turn, and that guy's off.
That's
your
what
boat.
I was saying. It was like,
well, then he's worried that they're going to chase him down, and then he's got to look at the engine on that other boat, and that other boat's going to outpower his little skiff. I didn't see what he was running, but trust me, it wasn't. Yeah. And then what do you do? So it's a bad situation. But what I would have done is the moment this guy came up, I would have said, "Hey, I'm sorry, man. I appreciate it. Listen, it wasn't me, but either way, I'm sorry," and then just left. And
I wouldn't even stayed. I would have been like, "Nope, I'm leaving."
But there's a time in my life where I would have started lipping off to the guy. So it's hard to say. Either way, I understand. I don't condone. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Megyn Kelly had some comments to say in regards to Christian women.
Just in time for your birthday. So watch your Megyn Kelly birthday or video.
So
of
true.
Course.
So true. So true. I mean, I wish I could. It's like I can't even turn the page. I tried to scroll past and I can't. I mean,
of course you can't.
Megyn Kelly starts talking and it's all over.
It's your birthday present.
Well, let's not. That's not true. If it was, I wouldn't be on. Here we go.
Here's what's happening on the right. Young women, I talk to young conservative women all the time about their lives and their goals and, the things that they want. And what's happening is they can't find men who are maybe more conservative. Usually they're looking for somebody who is religious, like a lot of conservative women tend to be God-loving conservatives. And they can't find a lot of young men who want to marry a working woman now. This is an actual problem that's coming up on the right. And to me, it's so sad because it's like, how did we get to the point where we're now telling young, conservative, amazing women that they're not attractive if they also work, if they choose to, let's say, do what I'm doing and what you're doing and like get their voice out there. But I'll stick with me just because I think conservatives listening to this will like the thought of another Megyn Kelly voice up and coming. Well, why wouldn't we want that? Why would we take somebody who's talented in this field and really wants to make a difference and have the messaging to her be, you're really not that valuable unless you give it up and go into the home and only have a family and only raise a family. And not only are we sending her that message, but young men are actually believing that. They're actually believing it, especially on the right, because like the trad mom has gotten so popular. And it's like, no, if we do that, we're not going to have any strong conservative or right-leaning women to provide a role model for younger conservative women who, and there's nothing to apologize for here, don't necessarily want to spend all their 20s and their 30s getting married and having kids, or can't. They just weren't able to meet somebody and definitely don't need to be shamed over it.
So what she's saying, Liv, is that men are hesitant to support a woman in the Christian relationship who don't work or who want to work. And they're kind of looking for that stay-at-home to raise the kids, and that Christian conservatives are kind of in the stereotype. And her point is, well, in order to continue to move forward, is women should have the choice if they want to go work, or maybe they can't have kids, or it's not their dream to have kids. Maybe they want to have kids later, like you and I did. But that they can kind of be the role models. And I don't know what your opinion is on this, but mine is I wanted you to go to work. Like I had to like beg you to go to work, and you wanted to stay home. And for that 10 years, I was fine with it. And then when they were old enough, I'm like, okay, let's like.
I was ready to go to work.
Right, but we got to get ahead, right? So I'm like, listen, you need to go work, and it was good for us. But I think Megyn Kelly's a little off on this. I don't think this requires a woman or a man. I think it requires the relationship to decide.
I think that this is a topic that other people need to butt out, and it's only the couple. I mean, why does anyone else need to get into someone else's relationship?
Right.
I mean, it's right up there with do you breastfeed or do you bottle feed? No one should get shamed for breastfeeding. No one should get shamed for bottle feeding.
Right.
I mean, you don't know the circumstances of why a woman couldn't nurse their child. Maybe they wanted to and they couldn't. It was very close where I was almost not able to nurse Ethan because I got an infection, and it took 2 weeks for it to go away. Luckily,
you're being a quitter.
Yeah, totally. Also does the woman stay home or does the woman work? Or
and don't call it a trad mom.
A what? I've never even heard of that.
It's like Hayden doing the choreo. Is it a choreography?
I don't know what a trad mom is.
Traditional.
Oh,
just say the word traditional. Why do you
never even heard that.
Are you that pressed for time that you have to shorten a word?
Yeah, I'm 45. I don't speak the lingo of today's kids. So
anyway, trad mom, traditional mom.
Got it. No, it shouldn't be anyone's opinion. Just like if a couple doesn't want to have kids, they shouldn't be shamed for not wanting kids.
Right.
It's just, and here's the thing. If a couple gets together, they should have discussed this before they got married. And if they weren't honest with each other, well, then that's their fault, and they're going to have to deal with the fallout from that. But if a woman has a career and she wants to keep that career, regardless of if they have children, one, she should have the right, but two, she should have been completely honest with her significant other before they took that step, so he's not having a fit that she won't give up her career and stay home.
Right, but if you're that woman who says, "Oh, I'm going to have a kid, and I still want to work," then you have to understand that you're also removing the male option for one of two things to happen: is that they have to fulfill the role of mother, or they financially have to cut into that. And a lot of people don't share finances. You and I do. I mean, you and I made it very simple because we shared everything.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of couples that don't share finances and they're independent. And the man's like, well, listen, I have no problem paying for my kid, but I don't want to pay, $4,000 a month for child support or a nanny. And when one of us can do it. And then she's like, well, it's going to be you because I want to work. And it's like, wait a second.
That should have been discussed before.
Right. But that's the problem, is that some people, women, say one thing before marriage and then after marriage change their mind.
You really want to have this argument right now?
It's not an argument because facts, there's no reason for me to argue. You did it. You did it. And that's okay. And I love you for it. And it all worked out. But it happens, right? People change their minds, women. And it makes it really hard in the relationship, women.
Men.
No, men are ignorant and men play stupid when they're really smart and should stop playing dumb. That's what we do in relationships. It's like, hey, Dad, can you open up this can of peanut butter? Where's your mom? Where is she? No, I can't do it. Go get your mom.
The other thing is people are getting married later and later in life. They're not getting married at 18, 19, 20. And what do you expect these women to do? Just sit around waiting for their husband to come and sweep them off their feet so they don't have to work? If they don't get married until they're in their 30s, they had to have had a career.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's something that needs to be discussed. Some women want to work and they can't do the stay-at-home thing. One of our good friends was, and during about 4 weeks into maternity leave, She was like, here, can you please watch her? I just need to go into work for a day. And she was just like, I can't do it. I can't stay home.
Yep.
She had to be working. Then there's some women who want to stay home, which was me. And now my kids are in school and I'm working and watching other people's children because it's what I love to do. So it really depends on the person, but honestly, it shouldn't be anyone else's opinion. Everyone needs to stay out of it except for the couple.
So do men, Matt.
my
Yeah, but
opinion.
we're not talking about men. See, Megyn Kelly she talked about men in the negative fashion, and that men, want women to stay home and not work. So I'm defending men that there are times. So it's a counterproductive point. I'm completely aware that men change their mind. I'm completely aware that men can be sexist. I'm completely aware about all those things, but Megyn Kelly seems not to be.
Yeah.
So what I was trying to do was to equivocate by sharing examples of how men and women both are responsible for the decisions in the household, especially when a child's involved.
Yeah, I mean, they both need to be talking. They both need to be discussing. And, that is one thing that needs to be discussed is the cost of childcare these days. And I know a lot of people will stay home because there's no point, because about 95% of their paycheck is going to go to childcare. So what is the point?
Yeah.
When they're not even going to bring anything home. So it's cheaper for them not to work than it is for them to work.
Yeah, and
so
Roxanne, sorry, we got a lot of people talking here, so I'm trying to get everybody in here. Roxanne made a point, said, well, what you wanted to do is when you first got married, and then what you feel like you want to do 10 or 20 years later might be totally different because you grow as a person. Right, women change their minds, so do men. That's not my point. The point is Olivia said, well, they need to talk about it before they're married. That doesn't necessarily hold true. So Roxanne, you and I think you may have been contradicting Olivia's point, I hope, because that's not mine. Mine is that you have a right to change your mind. You have a right for things to change. But if you're surprised by what your spouse wants or doesn't want, that's your fault for a lack of communication.
Yeah.
And you should communicate more effectively with your spouse.
Is key.
Yeah,
I mean, and also...
Or just tell the bitch what she needs to do because, she doesn't listen to you. Give her a black eye.
Ethan just walked in and his mouth just dropped up.
Hello, my puppy. Go ahead. Liv.
There's also, some women are like, I absolutely want to keep my career. And then they hold their baby for the first time and they're like, you know what? My career doesn't mean anything to me now. I've got this child and I really want to stay home with him. I mean, it could be something like that as well. But open communication, because yes, your relationship of when you first get together to when you get engaged to when you first get married, it evolves. So your communication needs to evolve and you as people evolve. I'm not the same person I was when I was 20. And you evolve and your relationship needs to evolve. Therefore, you need to have constant communication. It really is the only way to make a relationship.
And there's sometimes women tell you that they love blowjobs. And then 20 years later, you haven't had one in 20 years. And you look at them and go, I love them. It's like a blowjob away keeps the doctor away. You're like, oh, let's get married. And then all of a sudden you're like, do you have to go to the doctor anytime soon? Because amen, Olivia. I stayed up with my girls in the late 90s. It was doable and made sense. We did make sacrifice, but it was worth it. I raised my children, not strangers. Having said this, I realize not everybody can afford to do this. That's true, Don. We were very fortunate because I was making a good amount of money.
Yeah. And I mean, I worked until Hayden was 16 months old. And the main reason why we even thought about me staying home was Hayden was going to an at-home daycare with our neighbor, who was also a good friend, and she was pregnant with her second child. At the same time she was due, Matt was getting a promotion and got a new job with Apple. And so we're like, okay, we got to find a new daycare. We looked at so many of them, and there were none that we liked or trusted.
Oh, God, you remember that chick that opened the door half naked and stoned out of her gourd? Do you remember that?
No, because I don't remember going in a private. I remember just going to the public.
Oh, my God, you don't remember this. You came home and you
that's
flipped.
right. That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Just go ahead and finish the story. No,
That's
it's
right.
fine. Let's go ahead.
No, I totally
go
remember
ahead.
now. It's been a long time. But so we didn't trust anyone. And we came up with the idea of my next door neighbor. She's not going to do the daycare. So I'm going to stay home and I'm going to take on the kids from the daycare to supplement income. And it worked out in our favor. And then it just happened to when we moved and I got pregnant with Ethan,
Tell the story.
Yeah. I don't remember the full story. I just remember
She went and she started looking at daycares, and there was this one that was really, really cheap, and we were out of options. And she's like, "This is the one." And she went up to the front door, and I went up to the front door, and it was some trashed out white trash house. And this like 19-year-old meth head opened it up with a halter top and white cotton panties, and looks like she just got done rolling 5 guys in her house. And she answers the door, and I'm like, is this a nanny or is this a brothel? And and it was the greatest thing. Olivia's like, "Thank you so much. We must have the wrong house. Goodbye." And she was gone and grabbed Hayden. We were out of there. So, and I'm like, wait a second, let's not be hasty here.
My
She's kind of good looking. All right, let's
incoming.
Oh. Joanne Townsend, $10.80. Happy birthday, Matt. Thank you, Joanne. Appreciate you taking care of me on my birthday, everybody. We'll be right back.
The Dumb Store is veteran-owned with a 5-star diamond rating for service and satisfaction. We offer quality products like coffee, shirts, hoodies, and hats, all made by veterans. Shop with confidence, backed by hundreds of 5-star reviews. Use code DUMB10 to save 10%. Visit thedumbshow.com today. Thank you for your support.
All right, incoming.
Are we all caught up now?
No.
Jane Bush, $20. Happy birthday, Matt. Thank you, Jane.
No, we're very far off from being caught up.
Okay, well, you might want to catch us up a little bit.
Okay, so here I go.
Because we want to, catch us up. Don't go crazy. Just what? You looking at the dog? Cool.
Sure.
Yeah, just put in another one, and then we'll do this, and then we'll put in another one after this.
Coming.
Ashley Gleason donated $50. Happy birthday, Matt. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you so much. Very much appreciate it. Russell Brand has been accused of, hey, Liv.
Yes.
We're working.
Yep.
Russell Brand has been charged in British courts, England, UK, whatever they're calling it now, with 4 counts. Actually, 5 counts. 3 individual counts. One's sexual assault. The other one is oral sexual assault. And I believe 1 regular, I don't know, and like 2 rape charges. It's insane. Here is the video. They'll explain it better, and then we can talk a little bit about it with Russell Brand.
We've learned in the
okay, well, that was a really damn. That's informative. He's in trouble. Okay, here we go.
In the last few minutes, that Russell Brand has been charged with rape, indecent assault, oral rape, and sexual assault. This is by officers in the United Kingdom.
Olivia, write down oral rape, and we can look that up later.
Details just emerging following investigations that have gone on now for several years, following those allegations that were made public, of course, in part through that Channel 4 documentary. Russell Brand has previously denied allegations made against him, while he has been charged, like we've been hearing, by officers in the UK with rape, indecent assault, oral rape, and sexual assault.
All right. Russell Brand unequivocally denies these charges, says that goes into Katy Perry. This happened 20 years ago.
We've learned in the last
listen, British.
Is it just me that British people sound like they're plugging their nose
what's happening
and they're
on the
all
right.
clogged up when they're talking? They just sound
They're not attractive
it's because
if they also
all
work.
have.
If they choose to, let's say, do it.
It's because they all have bad teeth and need root canals, and they have upper sinus issues. Russell Brand has said, according to other people, are saying that he's been targeted because he is a conservative, somewhat. He's not really a conservative, but Christian and is born again. That they're coming after him. Thank you, Thomas. Right. Maureen says, "Is there a decent assault?" I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. And they're saying a lot of defense for him, saying that he is the big media is coming after him, and everybody wants to hurt him, and all this other stuff.
So when the allegations are from 20 years ago?
The supposed event happened before he was famous and was doing comedy and stuff like that, but he wasn't, the epitome of talk as he is now and movies and everything. And wasn't even big. Here is his response to this. Listen.
Hello. Firstly, thank you for these incredible and overwhelming messages of support. We're very fortunate in a way to live in a time where there's so little trust in the British government. We're very fortunate, I suppose, that this is happening at a time where we know that the law has become a kind of weapon to be used against people, institutions, and sometimes entire nations that will not accept and tolerate levels of corruption that are unprecedented. I'm speaking particularly to those of you that are watching this in the UK. How do you feel about your legal system right now? How do you feel about some of the high-profile cases that are not being pursued and prosecuted? How do you feel that the Southport murders were handled? How do you feel about the government of Keir Starmer? Now, that's just sort of general context. Me, I've always told you guys, when I was young and single, before I had my wife and family, we're just out of shot over there, my beautiful children, I was a fool, man. I was a fool before I lived in the light of the Lord. I was a drug addict, a sex addict, and an imbecile. But what I never was a rapist. I've never engaged in non-consensual activity. I pray that you can see that by looking in my eyes. I want to thank all of you for your continuing support. I want to let you know that our show will be on Rumble on Monday. Thanks for your support there. And of course, I'm now going to have the opportunity to defend these charges in court, and I'm incredibly grateful for that. In the meantime, you lot, stay free, and we will be continuing to discuss this matter. Praise the Lord.
Good. Innocent until proven guilty, even in a fucked up country like England.
Yep.
I mean, even though that's not, it used to be that way. England used to be the epitome of this. I don't know if you knew this, but they would protect the accused more than they would protect the victim. And they would put a black bag over their head. They would hide.
That's how it should be, because
I agree.
Immediately it's all over, and it's like they're guilty in public's eyes without, and you can't assume, you can't say person's guilty unless you know all the facts. And us as the public, we don't know the facts. We can say and go, okay, well, I think, but you know,
Olivia, he orally assaulted me, and I never told you.
Okay.
His beard tickled. So here, I'm not here to make fun of sexual assault. I'm not here to make fun of rape. You guys know how serious I take that, obviously, and I use humor to get through things. He's not innocent because I believe that the deep state is trying to destroy him. He's not innocent because I believe there's a liberal conspiracy, or that the crown, had one of the princes be Jack the Ripper, and therefore has been, propagating malfeasance and horrible days of punishing jackanapes all across the land. I don't believe any of that nonsense. Is he a born again Christian? Yes, after the charges came out in like three and a half years ago. Has he become fairly conservative? Yes, after the charges came out about 3.5 years ago. He's not innocent for any of those things. He's innocent because it is a country where we are innocent until proven guilty here in the United States, and I believe we have the right to forward that to him. Now, England is used to be that way, and I don't believe that he is going to get a fair shake, because the Parliament and British government do not like when people speak poorly of them. They've wanted to arrest U.S. citizens for talking shit, and I'm one of them. So if you remember, they said, well, we're going to start extraditing Americans who speak ill of the crown and Parliament. And I said, what? Fuck you, England. Let me be the first. Come get me.
Exactly.
Let's reenact 1776 all over again on my front door. 1786 to be exact. On my front doorstep. Bring it. And I hope you bring those funny little hats too.
They
and your
didn't
nightsticks.
extradite one American citizen.
No, and they never will. So am I with Russell Brand on this? Yes, as I am with anyone who has not been proven beyond a reasonable doubt to be guilty of anything. So do I take him at his word? And listen, the guy has never, ever pretended that he is not a recovering drug addict, a sex addict. He has been very open, and it's what makes him so sincere to people, and people like him. And I happen to like him.
The thing that gets me is that it was 20 years ago, and I understand, but shouldn't there be a statute of limitations even on assault? And I understand if the victim was a minor, yes. But if the victim wasn't a minor 20 years ago, don't you think there should be a statute of limitations, especially if the person they're accusing was not famous and not rich when it happened, but now they are?
Yep.
I mean, honestly, in my opinion, I think some of these, when it's not a jackknife.
Yeah, you almost spelled it right, Jarmo, which I'm very impressed for somebody who doesn't know the etymology of the word. Jackanape, Jackanape with a silent S. So it's not jackanapes, it's jackanape, and the S is silent. And jackanape, it basically means an impertinent person on the first, and upon the second would be, I believe, a trained monkey, if my memory is correct. So English derivative 1300 circa. It is most assuredly old E, and the word basically means an impertinent person. That's it.
Yeah.
I hope that helps. Go ahead.
So the ones that are politically motivated, like Blase Ford and all these other ones, you know why those are coming out. They're getting paid and they're, to ruin someone's political career. But the ones that are against celebrities or anyone who, a sports star or anyone like that it is so many years ago, and now they're just coming out because this person is worth millions of dollars now. That really just...
That really chaps your
Yeah,
chafe.
it's like, it looks really bad. Like payday.
Water!
Like you're just trying to get a payday. And that's what it looks like. But I don't know. I've never been in that situation to accuse anyone of that. So I don't know how a person would think or how they feel. So, but that's just my opinion and incoming.
Jarmo says a troglodyte. Yeah, kind of, but, but probably has a residence and doesn't live in a cave. Joseph Hillstrom donated $21.10. A real poor but happy birthday, brother. Keep it wrinkled.
Keep it wrinkled.
Do you see my wife? Do you really think it's possible to keep it wrinkled? It's pretty much like if you thought the sundial was accurate, you should see me at home. All right, moving on. Folks, we are at goal. I appreciate it. Olivia is definitely running away with this. She got over 1,000 on her birthday, and I'm not going to take it personal. It's kind of like, Bill Cosby says, you have a son, and you see, and you want him to be tough and strong. So you say, run at me. He runs at you, and you knock him down, get him back up, and you set him up there and go, okay, good, do it again. And you knock him back down and do it again, and it starts to hurt, and so you don't want him to hit you anymore. So you send him out on a tree, and he goes, and starts gnawing on the tree. And you're like, that's right, now he's ready for football. And you release him on the kids in middle school, and he runs for touchdowns, 300 yards, 7 touchdowns. And he runs through everybody, bowls over the entire line, and goes into high school, wins the state championship, runs for 10,000 yards and 150 touchdowns. He goes to college and for USC, and he's at the big game in the national championship, and he reaches out for the catch, and he catches it and goes in the end zone, and he turns around to the camera and goes, "Hi, Mom." You don't take it personal. You know who raised him, who taught him everything he knows. So it's okay that Olivia beats me. It's
not the end of the show yet, dear.
It's okay. I understand. It's, Hi, Mom. One of my favorites.
Incoming.
Hey, Liv, do you know the media lives? Hey, Amy Bordeaux.
Really? I had absolutely no idea.
$51.99. Amy, thank you so much. We do appreciate you. Excellent. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Wonderful. We've got, okay, the media. Now this one's going to be fun. Do you want to do another one, or are you going to pay attention?
I will pay attention.
Okay. So the media lies, but they are getting really good. Yes, the Avs clinched a playoff spot. Yep. Last night, as they spanked the living bejesus out of Columbus. The media lies. Now, I am going to recreate something for you in Photoshop, and everyone kind of likes when I do this because they like to see how I can, recreate things that the media is doing. But I'm going to explain this to you.
Okay.
First off, I want to take you back to September 20th, 2021, when ABC World News Tonight targeted Border Patrol agents. And this is one of my first shows.
Back home.
And you guys may remember, it was one of my first shows that we did. And this is the one where I went off, being from Texas, talked to a few rancher friends of mine and said, what are we missing here? And the overall training reins and the reins that they had were not whips. And we broke this and said the media lied. And this is this. So here is our first example.
Haiti. Kenneth Moulton from Texas.
Tonight, this new video of Haitian migrants at the southern border, the chaos and despair. Images showing Border Patrol agents on horseback as they try to stop them from crossing the river into the U.S. The White House seeking answers.
I've also seen the video. I can't imagine what the scenario is where that would be appropriate. It's obviously horrific, the footage.
So that was one of the first. And what we found out is that they were not whips. They were reins. And the media cut the angles of the photos and cropped them to make it look like whips and didn't show the other side of the horse where those reins were attached to the bridle, thank you so much, son, of the Border Patrol agents. That's the first one. This 57. Is another one when it comes to the cheap fakes. This is most recently where they said that Republicans were faking videos about Joe Biden to win the election. Go ahead and watch this.
You've probably heard of deep fakes, but just last week, as President Biden was at the G7 summit in Italy, cheap fake clips went viral on social media and were picked up by some news outlets. Take a look at this clip, for example. It shows Biden and other world leaders watching a skydiving demonstration before the president is seen walking away and looking in another direction. Outlets claimed that he was sort of just aimlessly wandering away. The clip amassed millions of views within just a few hours, when actually, if you widen out, you can see that he was talking to one of the members of the military that was participating in that demonstration. So how prevalent are cheap fakes? And how big of a problem will they be in this election? Well, let's take a look with executive editor of CBS News Confirmed, Rona Tarrant, who joins us now from Studio 57 to explain. Hi, Rona. It's great to see you.
Hi.
So tell us how long cheap fakes have been around. I'm assuming they've been around since the beginning of the media, because anybody can
when
can
Al
take
Gore
an
created the
image
internet
and manipulate it to make it look like it suggests something that didn't happen.
That's exactly it. It really is a case of old techniques meets new technology. So as you said, cheap fake videos, and that's videos that are edited in a really simple way. Those have been around as long as political videos have existed. So there's a few ways, for example, that people might be familiar with. One is there might be a long video and you might take a very short clip and you take out key context. Mm-hmm. Another is maybe you slow something down and it makes it sound like someone is slurring their words. Or another is you might splice several pieces together and it makes it sound like someone said something that they didn't.
Yeah, but the only thing is that it wasn't fake.
I know. I was going to say, if you think it's fake, show the whole thing, widen it out.
Yeah, now he was talking to the paratroopers, but the paratroopers weren't talking to him. And they had their backs turned to him. And he was aimlessly talking at an angle, and they had no idea because they couldn't hear him. He wasn't talking to anybody. And they went ahead and wrangled him. But then this started down the rabbit hole that everything that was negative about Biden's deductive reasoning and cognitive dissonance and his cognitive decline was all about deep and cheap fakes. So I decided to go ahead and pull up a couple things because there is a clip of Donald Trump that's making its way around. And if you remember when CNN did this, now I have hundreds of examples. I can show you when Anderson Cooper stood in the puddle of the hurricane, and then when you see the wide angle, people are walking by and people are leaning into this wind, and then there's people walking by like kicking a ball, and it's all fake. I mean, everything they do is fake. But this is what they did to Joe Rogan. If you remember, he announced he had COVID, and he was praising ivermectin at the time. And this is, if you said the word ivermectin, you were banned. We got banned on YouTube for it. Facebook has still demonetized me and has never given me money back on stars or on reels. And we just got approved for videos where we can make you a custom video, and we just got that added to our channel. If we are doing something wrong, why do they keep giving us new programs? I don't think I'll ever get it fixed. But either way, you can donate at thedumbshow.com/donate, especially today because my wife is beating the pants off me for her birthday versus mine. But here is the video where they made Joe Rogan look sick by darkening the photo and creating and increasing the gamma and lowering the saturation. I will show you what this looks like and how to do it. And here is the video. And they also have done it again with Donald Trump. I'll show you that one next. Here this is.
And turns out I got COVID. So we immediately threw the kitchen sink at it. All kinds of meds, monoclonal antibodies, ivermectin, Z-Pak, prednisone. And turns out
they darkened it so much, he almost looks black.
That just looks so incredibly fake. You know what it reminds me of? If his face was blue, he would look like one of the Blue Man group.
Yeah, that's how bad it is.
It looks horrible.
Well, let me go ahead and show you this. And I want to show you, a lot of people are saying this isn't true. Now, you're going to hear several things. I happen to be an expert in more than two things, but here are the two things that Olivia will attest, and let's hope this time you actually do that, because you're supposed to offer me credibility. Is I am an expert in TVs.
Yes.
From liquid crystal to plasma to CRTs to cathode ray tubes to DLPs to projectors. I don't care what it is. LCD, VGA to HDMI to HDCP. It doesn't matter what it is. I know TVs.
Yes.
And the second thing I understand is Photoshop.
Yes, for sure.
And I'm good at both. And they're saying because you're looking at the TV square, that when you move over, you're going to have a little bit of refraction, which is to lose overall color, because color does not travel as fast as whites and blacks do. And at an angle, your picture will haze and decrease. That is true. But that's not what's happening here, and I'll show you why. Let's watch this. So here's the Fox picture on a TV, and we're going to go ahead and take a screenshot of this. And if you look, his hair is fairly consistent. The brightness is up on this TV a little too much, okay? There's no refraction. There's no angle loss. The picture itself is fairly consistent. It's an LCD. It's not cheap. I believe it's either a TCL or a Westinghouse. I can't tell completely. There's no beveled edge. Never mind. It's a Samsung or it's a Sony. So it's a higher end TV because there's no beveled edge. And it is a fairly decent resolution looks to be a 45-inch TV. Okay? And the next TV over is the exact same TV. And you can see that Donald Trump is extremely orange. And the tie and everything else looks very, very, very red and orangish, right?
Yep.
Okay. Now, there's also something else that you're seeing in here, is I want you to look at the shirt.
It looks like it's got like speckles or something.
Yeah, have you ever seen Donald Trump have speckles on his shirt?
He always wears just plain shirts.
Okay. I will tell you what that is in just a second and show you what that is. But remember those. See that? Mm-hmm. Those are just pixelization, and that's motion of the camera not lining up with the graph pixels on here. There's a certain amount of pixels from here to here, across and here, running on a 1080p, 720p, 4K, whatever it is. And when you have motion, it doesn't track like the human eye, and it actually picks up the frame rate and creates pixelization. So there's nothing on his shirt as you see right now, but there was a second ago. And when it continues to move, you will see those move and show up. So as soon as he moves, he's catching the frame rate differential in a camera's eye, which shoots at 30 frames a second or 60 frames a second. This film, it's 30 frames a second, but this is probably producing 120 megahertz or a 120 to 60 refresh rate. So they're not in sync. So you're going to get particle breakup. Now, you want to look over to the left. There's 4 TVs here. And it's happening in both of them. It's happening right here. And it's happening right here. You can see the waffle. So these are very, very close. So you can't sit here and say that they are not the same TV. They are the same TV, and they're actually the refraction pattern. Excuse me, the frequency gap pattern is exactly the same on both TVs. The brightness and contrast are just a little bit higher here, tuned in normally, but here brightness and contrast is turned down a little bit, and overall one level is increased. Okay, let's compare the red. The red to the red, fairly much the same.
Mm-hmm.
This red and this red, pretty much the same. A little bit darker over here, a little bit lighter over here. Tie about the same. Why are all the colors so close together, but he is this color? Because if it was overall saturation or intensity, everything would be brighter. The red, this red would be this red, all everything. The whites, everything would be brighter, but that's not what we have here in this picture. So what has happened for this to happen? Okay, let's go ahead and watch a little bit longer so you can see it. There isn't much difference except for this. Okay, so we have to prove it. Is it a matter of the TV? Is it a matter of something like the angle? Is it just that they're tuned differently? Is it that CNN and Fox broadcast differently? A lot of questions.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're going to do is we're going to open up Photoshop, and I'm going to show you. Sorry, folks, I was working on some stuff. You can go get all of this over at the don'tunfriendmeshow.com. Why aren't you closing? Close all. Don't save. Don't save. Okay. New file. Actually, we're just going to go ahead and do this. Close this. Open this. And open it with Photoshop. Here is the image of CNN. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things would hold true. If I go to image and I go to adjustments and people said it was the saturation of the picture, can I get this picture to look like the Fox picture by decreasing the saturation? So if I do that by decreasing the saturation and now I bring in the Fox image, they should be pretty much the same, right, Liv?
I'm going to say no because the flag and the tie.
Liv, they pretty much do. But it's still not perfect. Look at the reds.
Yeah.
And now the Fox is still washed out, but we knew it looked a little washed out because they were coming from an angle.
Yeah.
But this is pretty damn close.
Yeah.
Okay? So if I go ahead and I hit this, can we take the Fox image and increase the saturation to make him look orange? Let's find out.
Yes, he looks orange.
Now he looks orange. And are the rest of the colors something wrong? No, they're pretty much the same. Now if I come over here and I take the saturation on the Fox image, the CNN image, and take it back up, that's pretty close, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, that is about the easiest way for me to do that. But there's something else I can do. Is that when I'm in this picture, I can go over to image and I can go to adjustments. Oops. And I can come over to color balance. And if I want to go ahead and impact the highlights of this and just impact the overall picture, I can't, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if I want to actually go ahead and take this right here and just isolate this track, I would have to do something called rotoscoping, which is to outline his image and then every frame go ahead and do it. There's also software can do it, and it is a pain in the ass, and absolutely in no way, shape, or form are you going to be able to get the same result. And when I auto tone it, it doesn't do the same thing. Auto contrast doesn't do it. And if I go auto color, it doesn't do the same thing. So really, if I imported it into Premiere, could I go ahead and do something like what they're achieving to do? This is what I could do though. All I have to do is go ahead and duplicate the layer. And now I've got a layer here that is, if I just go ahead and do a color overlay on it, you guys can see that layer. And I can turn down its opacity or turn it all the way up. And if I go ahead and I do a gradient or a color overlay, and I go ahead and I make it orange, and we want a really bright orange because this is Donald Trump. And then I can come over here and simply cut the image. Now I've got something like that. And I go, okay, well, that is stupid, and everybody in their right or in their right mind can see it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if I go ahead and I do something like that, or I go, it's not working. Hold on. And I go ahead and I put it in as an overlay, and then I go ahead and I turn it down. So now you have a question. If I can do that, you can still see the orange square, and you can see his photo, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he is most assuredly orange. So there is no physical way in a video for me to go ahead and isolate just his face unless I single-handedly select the orange color and increase that color individually. And if I come in here and I select oranges, you see what's happening here?
Mm-hmm.
Look at the background.
Yeah, it's changing.
Wait a second, why isn't the picture changing? So now I have myself in a position where I can find the color that I want to, and I can adjust its properties. See how all the reds are going?
Yep.
So this is, you can do relative and choose whatever color you want, be it orange or whatever else you want, and make his face individually more orange if you want to, like we just did there. So the whole point of this is that CNN went in and manipulated not just the saturation, but they selected the color pattern of Donald Trump and his face, which is very distinct, and they increased that to do an HDR or a color toning over that face and make it more orange, just like we did in that photograph. You can do this in Photoshop, you can do it in Premiere, you can do it in a lot of things. The whole point of it is that they manipulated the video. And a lot of people are saying they're not. Well, I'm telling you, you can't get this without manipulation. Now look at it again. Supposed to check our PMs. Why?
Your PMs or mine?
I don't know. Whose PMs, Maureen? Why am I looking at this, Maureen? I don't know why I'm looking at this. Okay. Anyway, so if we take a look at this video one more time, and I want you to look at this, and I want you to just look at the color separation in his face and how all the other colors stay the same. So what they did is they took that red layer, and that was a very quick job. They took that red layer that I had, hit selective color, and increase the overall saturation on the oranges and the reds, because you can see it when you go back to Fox that the reds are a little flatter on the pictures. And do you see it now? You see how it's like a fake red and it seems overexposed like it did in Photoshop?
Mm-hmm.
That means they adjusted the color saturation. So what that proves is that the media lies.
Of course they do.
And they're trying to manipulate people by altering an image about Trump. So it's something to think about, right?
Yeah.
So maybe not. Okay, hold on. What is going on with Maureen? Why is she?
I don't know.
Can you please find out what's going on?
Yes.
Chuck says he's guessing his donation didn't go through, honey.
I've been holding them until we were done with this segment.
Yeah,
because we've been doing it between segments, so we don't interrupt the segments.
So sometimes it gets a little bit behind. So the whole point of this was to show you that, watch this. Hey, Liv, look at the camera real quick.
Okay.
And just let's find out what's going on with Maureen. So you look lovely tonight, but you look a little orange.
Oh, well, yes, I do.
You look a little washed out, right? But what if I go ahead and I turn the filter off that we have? This is a filter. That's what the filter does for Olivia. But this is the normal picture of Olivia. So if I want to go ahead and I want to increase a little bit her orangeness, it's not hard to do it. Now you can't really tell that I did it. But once I put a filter on it, you can really tell because all the colors change.
Yep.
See it?
Mm-hmm.
But if I take the filter off and I just naturally increase the saturation, it's not that bad, and she looks really, really orange. But on the other hand, I can turn her into a Smurf. But then when I go ahead and I do this, I take the temperature, leave it where it's at, and just increase saturation. Do you see how she turns like this fake color of pink and faint color of red? That's how you know CNN screwed with it. Because saturation will take you all the way to black and white or all the way to washed out. This increases the color enhancement of the shot. I want you to look at everybody's faces in the back of the picture, the photograph of Olivia. Look at myself, Olivia, we all look orange. So this puts that orange hue to it, and that's all they did. Once again, we put the filter back, and everybody looks good. So it's just to show you that the people, CNN's coming on, and they're saying, no, we didn't do anything. Yes, you did.
Of course they did.
Yes, you did. We know you did. Go ahead, honey.
All right. So I'm going to put a few through. Okay.
Bobby Richardson, the best show anywhere. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And I've got a great tidbit for Donald J. Trump. Thank you so much, Bobby. You're the best. What are we doing?
I'm putting in one more.
Marines in a separate conversation. Okay, cool. Cool. Mel Lowe, 103.48. Happy birthday, Matthew. Thank you, Melanie. Don't call me Matthew ever again. That's just weird. It's a trip. Thank you for the donation. You're the best. Can we go or do
we've got a few more.
Could I please have an apology?
If you guys ever, Donald Trump's just doing this. He's never been like this. Donald Trump's a fake. You know what? Donald Trump happens to be one of the most real. I'm thinking of writing a book on this guy. You know what? Because I really am. Because this guy gets a bad shake. He's always been like this. He's always been a bulldog for people who question his honor and integrity. Listen to this.
A long way to go. And for whatever reason, you have a closed mind. I don't know why. Perhaps you could tell me.
I have a closed mind against evidence that is not substantiated.
Oh, well.
I have a closed mind against statements that are made about other people in general.
You're going to be very embarrassed in 2 years, sir.
You go on a radio show and you say, now some drunken Indians want to come down here and open a reservation.
I didn't say that, sir. Quote it. I didn't say that. Who said that?
I know it's Melody. But Melanie sounds more professional. Like Melody just sounds like I'm going to sing a song. Whatever.
Who said that? I'd like an apology right now because I didn't say that.
Imus opened the broadcast. So, excuse me, Mr. Imus said that.
Okay. Could I please have an apology?
You can have an apology.
Thank you, sir.
It's a shitty apology. Donald Trump's always been a bulldog.
Yeah.
He's never going to change, and he shouldn't change. He holds people to account, and that's why they don't like him. We'll be right back after this. Liv, you can get one in right after this.
Join WimKen.com, the social media platform built for free speech and true connection. No censorship, no algorithms controlling your feed, just genuine conversations and a commitment to protecting your rights. Sign up today at WimKen.com and take back your voice. Tell them Matt and the Dumb Show sent you.
We had a video that we did the other day, last night actually, about a gentleman whose mother and twin brother, Austin Metcalf's mother, and talking about their loss, where there was a track and field meet and a young man was sitting in the tent on the wrong side, and they told him to move and tried to move his bag. And the African-American young man, and I say it's African-American because it's important to say it, damn it, because now everyone's making this racial, so you're going to find out anyway. Honestly, I don't really care. But stabbed him in the heart. Killed him. And Jarmo says, you guys are pretty cool. Happy birthday. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks, Jarmo. I hope you come back,
y'all.
man. I love your no one cares. I love that gif. Thank you very much, brother. So I'm assuming brother, Jarmo. Jarmo be there? You know, Jarmo burn this place to the ground? Doobie Brothers. Jarmo be there. No? Okay. So here is a video on the Will Kane Show of Austin Metcalf's mother and his brother, and then I'm going to tell you what is happening. And there's a GoFundMe, not for the Metcalfs, and I'm sure there is one for the Metcalfs, but there is one for the gentleman named Carmelo Anthony with a K, because his parents named him Carmelo Anthony. Michael Jordan must have been taken. Here is the video.
I saw him about to fall. I went to go over there. I grabbed him. I see. Stop.
Yeah. I understand. Best I can.
See, I like Will Kane. But you know what I would do? We want to say thank you so much. And this is obviously a painful time, and your privacy is so important. We're going to go ahead and pause and go to commercial and let these people collect themselves. They should not be on TV right now.
No.
It's ridiculous. Leave these people alone.
Yeah. You can see, you can picture what happened when, what was coming out of his chest. And
thank you, Dodie.
Yeah.
Y'all can visualize that stuff. I don't want to put down my mom right now, but I pushed my hand on there, trying to make it stop, and I grabbed his head and I looked in his eyes. I just saw his soul leave, and it took my soul too.
I'm so sorry. I'm going to ask you one last question. I've seen interviews with your husband, who I can hear in the side, by the way. I think he's there in the room with you. I saw an interview last night. Okay, someone else. Yes, okay.
Yes, sir.
But I have seen interviews with your husband in the last 24 hours, and
don't fucking ever shush your mother, dude. Seriously? Like, my mom, for me to finally call that woman the name she was, took me 40 years, okay? And it was always yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. And I took the beatings, and I took the cursing, and I took the mental trauma. But don't shush your mother. Seriously, bro. You know what I mean? I understand it's crazy right now, but that's, I don't know, that bothers. I understand you're going through, but she doesn't have to you know what I'm saying? I just didn't think that was appropriate, but maybe I'm just being sensitive.
It was remarkable to me that I heard your
She looks like your sister a little bit.
And say within
older.
Yeah, maybe.
Hours of this that he forgave this other young man, and he got there so quickly. And I honestly don't know that I could. And I just want to see, and I don't know if there's a right or a wrong place to be, especially as quickly as this has happened. Megan, how do you feel on that front today?
I am not like their dad. I am so angry at that boy.
Damn right.
It's just not.
You are not wearing another boy's shirt.
Buddy.
Why are you wearing a boy's jacket?
Not cold.
Okay, this kid needs to meet me before this goes any further.
Okay.
No joke.
Okay.
When's he coming over?
Did you kiss him? Okay.
To hold hands?
Did you hold hands? Are you pregnant? Okay, get out.
That's all I have.
I understand.
I'd like to say
fair.
It's forgave, not forgotten, but I'm not at that point yet to forgive that kid for what he did to my brother. Because, 17 years, my best friend just there and in the blink of an eye, I lost him. So I'm not at that point.
All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to come down on the kid. He's going through hell. but don't shush your mother, dude.
Yeah.
Never. There's no reason for it. You know what I mean? But the issue that I have is, of course, the media is just coming out. Justice for Carmelo. A 4.0 students fight. Let's talk about who Carmelo really is. Respectful, well-mannered young man, 4.0 student with multiple college offers, a kid with zero criminal history, not even a blemish, a son raised in a loving home by parents who taught him right from wrong. A life was
Apparently
lost,
not.
and that is tragic, but what's also tragic is the way the media is twisting his story to fit their own agenda. Carmelo defended himself against violent aggressors. This is not a crime. Do not let the media race bait you. Do not let them manipulate the facts. Justice will prevail. Stand for Carmelo. Let me ask you a question, Liv.
Yeah.
Why is he bringing a knife to a track and field match?
Exactly. And if the kid, all he did was pick up his backpack, then if
No, he tried
he's
to move.
defending
He tried to
himself.
move his backpack.
He
Yeah.
tried to move his backpack. He's defending himself. Okay, then touch the other kid's backpack, or maybe push him and take your backpack back.
Yeah,
That
or
would have
knock him in the jaw.
Yeah, that would have been the appropriate. Give me my backpack. Maybe even punching him. But stabbing him in the heart with a knife, apparently his parents didn't teach him well enough what was right and wrong. And how the heck did he get a knife onto school grounds? Because you're not even supposed to have a knife on school grounds. So, yeah. This is called the George Floyd effect. When criminals are held up on high by the media and made out to be role models, and kids want to emulate and idolize by sports celebrities and the NFL and other people, then kids want to emulate them. And now they are trying to do the same thing with this kid. No, he's a murderer. He murdered this boy. There was the only way that would have been justified is if this other kid had a knife and tried to stab him. That's the only way it would have been justified.
Why are you bringing knives to track?
Exactly.
If I'm the prosecutor, if I'm anybody, just ask the why, right? Why do you have a knife at a track meet? That's it.
And here's the other thing. A knife at a track meet and you're sitting on the wrong side. Anyone who's been to a high school sporting event, whether it be track, whether it be football, basketball, there is clearly a home side and clearly an away side. At our football stadium, the home side, the stands are freaking huge, and it's right next to the entrance, and it's the colors of our school, and you can totally tell that's the home. And across the field, there is stands that are like a quarter the size of the home team. You clearly know what side you're going to be on. I think he wanted a fight.
Well, according he said, you need to move, and he said, touch me and see what happens. So then he touched him, and then he said, hit me and see what happens. Then he grabbed him, and then he stabbed him in the chest. After he was detained in handcuffs, the arresting officer reportedly speaking to another officer who had arrived and was advising him that Anthony was the alleged suspect, to which Anthony reportedly told the police unprompted, "I'm not alleged, I did it." WFA reports that Anthony asked the officer if Metcalf was going to be okay while he was in the backseat of the vehicle, and also asked if his actions would be considered self-defense. The weapon was reportedly discovered in the bleachers at the track during the investigation, so he also tried to hide material evidence. This kid's going away for a while.
Yeah.
Good. And you know what? At this point, if you bring a knife and you warned him that if you touch me, see what happens, which is what he said, this guy's going for premeditated murder. I have no doubt that they'll hit him with first degree. And if they've already charged him, maybe you guys know. But if I'm the prosecutor, I hit him with first degree murder.
Yep.
It's premeditated. He brought a knife. He was in no way, shape, or form have I heard anything about him getting picked on. He went to the opposite side. He sat on an area that was not his. He instigated a fight, would not move when asked to leave. And when he antagonized someone to move him physically or to hit him, and the kid didn't, he just tried to move him. He stabbed him in the chest and killed him. Good. Go to jail for the rest of your life.
Yep.
I can't find the GoFundMe page that this kid has. I'm truly hoping that it has no money. And I would give everything to the Metcalf brothers because obviously They are going to have. They lost a child. It's just ludicrous. It's absolutely ludicrous.
Yep.
Liv, if you're going to get them in. I only have a couple more. CJ Jenkins donated $77.74. Happy birthday, my fellow Aries. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. CJ, thank you so much. Really means a lot. Wonder if this was a gang initiation. I don't know. And there's pictures of this kid flipping off the camera and having an airsoft AK-47. That doesn't matter. I don't care about that shit. This kid had a knife. He openly admitted he killed him and murdered him.
Mm-hmm.
He's innocent until proven guilty, but right now, by his own volition, he's guilty. That's it.
All right. Incoming.
Debbie Hensley, $100. Here's to you, getting older and wiser. Well, at least older. Thank you so much. It means a lot. Santana said, I used to live in Frisco. I can probably find the GoFundMe. Yes, Santana, fine. I couldn't find it on a quick search. I'm pretty good at that stuff, but I didn't find it.
All right. Incoming.
Paul Rivera, $21.10. Happy birthday, brother. Wish I could sit down and bug you. Oh, buy me a drink. You can bug me too. That actually would be great if you could do that. Here is a picture of homeboy throwing up West Side, 21st Street. So two and one. So 21st Street here. See the two, see the one on the West Side. A little gang affiliation. Yes, I can also do Bloods if you ask me to do it. So. Do all that sorts of stuff. Fingers aren't as good as they used to be. Well, Liv disagrees. But
Oh my God.
Holding an AR, AK-47 airsoft and flipping off the camera. He's a kid. Who cares?
Parents must be proud.
But he doesn't look all innocent and 4.0 to me. But,
No.
it is what it is.
Marine checked it a few hours ago. The Metcalf's was up to 250,000 and Carmelo's had 0. So
Good.
that was a few hours ago, but it could
Good.
have
Don't give this douche plow any money whatsoever.
Incoming.
Also, want to thank for Red Friday hoodie. Joanne Thomas just bought a Red Friday hoodie. Don Bradley, happy birthday, Matt. Thank you so much, Don. You are the best. I still haven't seen Mr. Pedersen's.
coming in next.
Okay. So outstanding stuff. We've got a couple of other things. Quick little commercial for Wimkin, our good friends and gold sponsor of the show, Wimkin.com.
Join Wimkin.com, the social media platform built for free speech and true connection. No censorship, no algorithms controlling your feed, just genuine conversations and a commitment to protecting your rights. Sign up today at Wimkin.com and take back your voice. Tell them Matt and the Dumb Show sent you.
Just found out that Wayne Gretzky's goal is actually now has fallen from a tie. Looks like Ovechkin must have got a hattie, got 3 goals tonight because he was 3 behind.
So he's tied.
So Wayne Gretzky and Ovechkin are tied for 3 goals. Wouldn't it be great if he went ahead and did it tonight? I know that Wayne Gretzky and Bettman were in the barn tonight to see if he would break it. And I'm just going to give you my quick 2 cents on this. I'm not, listen, I'm incredibly impressed. I think it was 773 games or something like that. Or 773 goals on game. I don't know. It was the disparagement between the two of them was like 2 games and 2 goals. It's incredible. I think they're going to wind up almost on the exact same pace for the amount of games they played with the goals they scored, which is just mind-boggling. And this guy still has another 5 or 6 games in the season. And he most assuredly will add 5, 6, 10 goals. This goal will never fall. Ovechkin is an amazing goal scorer. He is an amazing talent. He is a 2-way player. He is a heavy hitter. The guy can throw gloves and throw fists. He earned most of his goals on one spot on the ice, and nobody could stop him. And that's just the way it is. He's a power play specialist. But this isn't the true goal. And Wayne Gretzky, the WHL, which the NHL got to bring in their previous stats to the forms of WHL and NHL leagues. And you had multiple WHL players not be able to bring in their stats into the new NHL. And in my opinion, I think that's wrong. If the NHL brought in theirs, they should have started over completely or brought in the WHL stats as well. I don't believe Wayne Gretzky holds the true goal record because if you take the number 1 WHL goal record carrier, I will tell you who that is, and most of you should know, but I want to give you the actual number. Slow down. Okay. List, top, goal, scorer.
I'm going to income while you're doing that.
Yeah, do that. WHL. Chuck Pedersen, 206.46. Happy birthday, Matt. And Chuck, thank you so much. And I want to give you an update when it comes to the marathon and the raising of the money. We're going to be doing this after tax, and I think we're looking at possibly a May 1st to May 7th, somewhere in that time frame, on a Wednesday or a Friday. So we want to keep you up to date on that, and thank you for an amazing contribution. And I think it was Gordie Howe.
Bobby Orr? Gordie Howe.
It was Bobby Howe or Gordie Orr. Bobby Orr. Gordie Orr.
Gordie.
It was. So hold on. I'm going to give you the numbers.
Carmelo's GoFundMe is at $2,045.
Yeah, screw him.
All right. Another incoming.
Go ahead.
Bobby Richardson, thank you very much. Happy birthday, Matt. 103.48.
Oh, Bobby,
really appreciate
you're
it.
amazing. Thank you both very much. Yeah. So it doesn't have. It's got to be Bobby Orr. It's got to be or Gordie Howe, one of the two. But either way, if you would have taken the stats from the WHL for either Bobby Orr or Gordie Howe, it's got to be Bobby Orr. Bobby Orr would be like 47, 57 goals above Wayne Gretzky. That's it. So I consider the stat to be kind of fictitious because of that, because I thought the WHL got hosed. That's just my personal opinion. Let's get on to our last topic. Somebody said, let's do another hour.
All right, I got to go bathroom.
Oh, Rachel, most of the... Okay, I didn't see that. All right, let's go ahead. Sorry, folks. I got a little thrown off because of the Gretzky news. But listen, Gretzky is single-handedly the most dominant player in sports ever. Absolutely the most dominant. More than Tiger Woods, more than Tom Brady, more than Michael Jordan. He is the epitome. It's unbelievable. And the guy has more assists than anyone has goals and assists. It's an incredible thing. So it's very, very special for Ovechkin, and it's something I wanted to go ahead and share with you. Last thing tonight is in regards to CNN. They are afraid to release anything positive about Donald Trump. And here's my thing. I've created a little list, and Olivia and I are going to walk through it together. But this is I'm not going to believe anything that Democrats and the media have to say. And as they're sitting here all afraid, break 2,000 mark, Matt. Oh, I don't. That's not up to me. That's up to y'all. That would be lovely to do that, but that's not up to me. You guys decide. If you want to do that, you do that. I'm humbled.
Well, you beat me.
You guys. I always beat you, but that's because you like it.
Oh my God.
That's not, you know what? When you got $1,000, I was so proud of you. And this is humbling. I didn't think.
That means they like you more than me.
No,
I'm cuter, but
I think they know happy Matt, happy dummies. So, CNN reports on March positive jobs report. And they literally, it's like they were drug across poles and they had bamboo shoots put up their nails. But they're not going to say anything positive about Donald Trump. And I want to show you a list. And I just sat down and I wrote, it's real simple. It's
hard to see.
It'll adjust.
There you go.
See that?
Yep.
Just very short notes. Just real simple notes, right? But here's the video, and then we'll do this.
News now. The March jobs report just released moments ago,
Good night,
telling
Thomas.
us that the U.S. economy added a stronger than expected 228,000 jobs last month, and as the unemployment rate changed only slightly, now at 4.2%. Matt Egan, back with us. Okay, what does this mean?
Well, Kate, this is good news because it shows that the jobs market was in good shape in March. I think the bad news is there are growing fears that
this was March.
That this was March and that this unfortunately may not last because of the trade war. Let me run you through the numbers. 228,000 jobs added in March. Now, this was stronger than expected. This really blew away forecasts for around 130,000. Also, this represents an acceleration from January and from February, both of which were revised lower. The unemployment rate, it did tick higher to 4.2%. That was expected. When we dig into
That's what happens when you fire federal employees.
Here, the one that
the unemployment number was, when you isolate it to federal and non-federal, about 92% of that was federal contrition or attrition.
Everyone's paying a lot of attention to right now is the federal government. This report showed that federal government employment did fall by 4,000 in March. That follows a 10,000 drop in February. But we're likely just starting to see this in drips and drabs because a lot of people who were laid off, they're not yet collecting unemployment. So those numbers are likely to go even higher. Also, just one other point here on the cost of living. Wages were up again by a solid amount. It cooled a little bit, but wages were up by 3.8% year over year. That is well ahead of the most recent rate of inflation, which you can see was just below 3%. So that means paychecks are beating prices. But
wow,
listen,
sounds pretty
the
good.
Bottom line here is, yes, the jobs market looked pretty solid.
Yeah, it was solid. Shut up. You don't have a fortune cookie, you douche plower. You would have predicted this like I did when I told you that there was going to be an excellent Q2 as far as retail sales, commodities, and everything else. I still believe that. Yes, these tariffs are going to have an impact on the stock market, but it doesn't change the fact that every country that comes back and renegotiates is a surplus for us. That's the way we have to look at this. Here is my list, Liv, of why I don't trust the media. Okay. And they're like, listen to us. Listen, seriously, tariffs are bad. You know what? I have got a list of reasons why, fuck you, tariffs are bad.
That's why.
Here's one. Russian collusion. We listened to you. Where did that get us? $42 million investigation with Mueller and a whole bunch of butt kiss, where the following statement, and the only statement that mattered, was, we're sorry, we can't prove if any votes were changed based upon the Russian effort to turn the election in favor of Donald Trump. Oh, well, it doesn't sound like anything. How about this? Can you think of one?
I'm sure. Let me think. Hang on. Orange Man bad.
Yeah, Trump
Nazi,
is Trump.
Nazi,
That's good.
Nazi.
That's good. That's good. Trump is a Nazi. That's right. Absolutely. Trump is a Nazi. How many Jews has he killed? Okay. Netanyahu is more of a Nazi than Trump. Trump is a dictator. Remember dictator on day one? It doesn't seem like he was a dictator. Seemed like he used executive orders. He didn't seize the government. He didn't put us under martial law. Abortion is going to be gone forever. Oh, you can still murder babies. Roe v. Wade will kill women. Women are just going to start dropping like flies, just die. They're going to have back alley coat hanger abortions. No, what they do is they travel out of state, or they go to a place in the state that it is accepted. Obamacare being repealed will kill millions of people. Remember all those millions of people who died over the mandate? Nobody died over the mandate. Tax cuts will destroy the middle class. Middle class is booming. We just heard it. Tax cuts will, net neutrality repeal will destroy the internet. Remember this? Net neutrality, where they actually were talking about the throttling of overall internet capacity and bandwidth would destroy it. I was with Comcast at the time. Lifting COVID restrictions will kill millions of people. States have to lock down, be secure and safe.
Yep.
Border walls, they're racist. Voter ID is Jim Crow 2.0. Trump will cancel elections. Trump will never leave office. Elon Musk owning Twitter will end democracy as we know it. Climate change will end the world in 12 years. No, 16 years. No, 20 years. No, 25 years. No, 30 years. Now it's a slow degradation that we can't put our finger on, but we know it's an emergency. Republicans want school shootings. These are all headlines. January 6th was an armed coup. Parents at school boards are people. The Don't Say Gay bill, even though it never said gay or lesbian in the entire bill. Misgendering is violence. Silence is violence. Silence is hate speech. Misgendering is hate speech. Banning gender ideology is child abuse. Gas stoves are health crises. Ukraine must be funded or democracy dies. Republicans will ban gay marriage. Contraceptives will be outlawed. Ukraine must be saved. Trans people are being erased. Book bans are everywhere. Ron DeSantis is a fascist. Republicans want to control women's bodies. And Trump's second term will be the end of America. This is why I'm not listening to them on tariffs. Because they don't know shit. All they know is to hate Donald Trump. And anything he does, orange man, bad. I'm tired of listening to him. That's why I'm not worried. I'm going to wait and I'm going to listen to the multi-billionaire businessman, because here's why, folks. The one thing, if he is a selfish, narcissistic, complete megamaniacal maniac and just a grifter, do you really think Donald Trump's going to do something that's going to bankrupt him? That's going to take all of his billions? Or do you think he's going to do the thing that's going to make America prosper so he can make more money? Liv, which one is it?
I think it's going to be the latter.
I'll take Donald Trump selfish for 1,000, Alex. Thanks. Folks, that's
You
it.
know, I was driving in Maryland today, because that's where I went today, and I was thinking that the Democrats are the Save the Planet party. They want to save the planet. Green energy, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Except Democratic cities and states are some of the dirtiest
and
I've
highest
ever
polluted.
seen
Yep.
when it comes to trash and litter, and just the towns are dirty. And if you cared about the environment that much, why does your state and your city suck?
Yes.
Just a thought, but...
Did you put in the
Nope,
wonderful...
I'm doing it right now.
I'm sorry. So, folks, we have one thing Olivia wants to share with us real quick. We'll let her do that, and then we'll
So,
call it a good night.
We got a card today. It says, you don't just give, you give from the heart, and it makes all the difference. Thank you. Greetings to all. Hope to get back on track with sending gifts/donations. I had a busy first 3 months with a 50th birthday bash for my oldest daughter. Then she had our 13th grandchild, a baby girl. And 2 weeks later, our 8th great-grandchild, a baby girl. Keep up the great work. God bless you all, from Iva Fusco.
Iva Lee, thank you so much.
There is what she gave us.
That is,
I appreciate that.
It's so nice that so many people don't have enough to give, but everyone helps and pitches in and makes it very, very special. That's why I wasn't bummed out about last night. I wasn't feeling good, and I know you guys always come through. I didn't think I was going to beat Olivia. So I'm going to say this, is that Olivia was on, which is why I did so well. And if she wasn't on, I definitely...
Because I wasn't on last night.
That's right. That's what it was. That's right.
It's always me, isn't it?
Riley says a great thing. Trump's ego is too big for him to fail. He wants a legacy to leave as him being the best POTUS ever. And so far, he is doing good. It was a great day with y'all. I love you guys so much. You guys make it so easy. We're going to have the marathon coming up soon. And I think we're leaning towards like a 5-hour show with multiple guests. And we are going to try to raise as close as we can get to $10,000. And the reason why is because one of our longtime listeners, Chuck Pedersen, has said that he is going to match that $10,000 so we can help build our studio and really get this show kicked off. And he believes in the project like so many of you do. And we're going to go for it. We're going to try, and we're going to walk you through the process. I mean, we'll keep you posted. We're going to be working on that. We're going to take pictures and photos, and we're going to bring you into the changing of that room, and hopefully get a couple of big guests on. Klobachar. Rachel, yep, I owe you that, don't I? Sorry, we had so much on the list. Klobachar got taken down. And it was just a beautiful, beautiful thing. Here is Jesse Panuccio, and that's a mouthful. No, he's not in the mob, but Jesse Panuccio, Mr. Jesse Panuccio, was talking to Amy Klobachar and just crushed her. And it's so beautiful when they try to set you up. This is what I would do to these bastards if they ever called me up. Here it is.
President Trump's tax on these judges has made for some major risks for these judges. I would ask you, Mr. Panuccio, and not in a partisan way, just normal, as a partner in a law firm, have you ever taken to social media to personally attack a judge who ruled against you? That's all my question is.
Senator, thanks for the question. I think that attacking judges personally and not their reasoning, well, let me just give you a quote. I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind and you will pay the price.
I've asked
you. Want to know, you won't know what hit you if you go forward with those awful decisions. That was something that Senator Schumer said, and I thought it was awful, and it unleashed a wave of violent threats against Supreme Court justices. I do think that's problematic, that kind of language.
I have no doubt the language is a problem on the left or right. I was just asking you if you have ever personally attacked a judge after you disagreed with the ruling.
Nope, but Chuck Schumer did. And, man, Kavanaugh had death threats, and someone tried to go and kill him. So, yeah, I thought it was beautifully done. Yes, Ivy Lee, beautiful card. It was wonderful to see, and they always make me smile. Joseph Hillstrom says, Matt, you ever play bubble hockey? Me? No. Nope.
I don't know what bubble hockey is. Do I know what bubble hockey is? Was it the table? Oh.
The one we have.
Bubble
Bubble hockey.
Gotcha.
When you turn the guys, and you play hockey and shoot in the net.
Okay.
Yeah, once or twice. Foosball, never played foosball either. Don't know how to do it. Oh, and like
air hockey.
Air hockey? Never played. Is it hard? Maybe you can show me.
God, you are more than welcome to reach for the camera and smack him in the face if you want. Smart ass.
Yeah,
I'll let you get away with it tomorrow when it's your birthday.
I played bubble hockey. Yeah, I'm pretty good at bubble hockey. Foosball, I'm pretty good at too. And air hockey. Bring your lunch. Bring your lunch on air hockey. Wicked serve. Olivia will tell you, I am vicious in air hockey.
Mm-hmm.
Vicious.
I won't.
And if you want to play on video game, anytime you want to play, I'd love to play. All right, listen, I want to say thank you to everybody. I appreciate you. It was a great show tonight. It was fun. My lovely wife, I'm looking forward to an amazing weekend.
We will post a picture at birthday breakfast and birthday dinner.
We will post a picture of birthday sex and birthday dinner sex.
I said breakfast.
We're gonna go ahead and we're
not
gonna go,
dessert.
We're gonna go watch some TV sex and go ahead and have our snack sex and go to bed sex. So thank you so much. Can't wait. Thank you guys for taking care of us tonight. We'll see you on Monday. We'll be back. Olivia, myself, and Amy will all be here. And thank you for making a very special, special birthday. And thank you all so very much. Love you and see you Monday.
Night, y'all. Thank you very much.
All righty. Bye.
It didn't play.
Son of, it's my fault. I hit the wrong button. That will be the only time that happens tonight.
Adjusting transmitter output.
See, 51, your brain's already gone.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live.
Bubba, it's not fake news. I just don't have time to play the games you want. You want to play like college football and all that. And Call of Duty, I like hockey. If you want to play, I'll play you on hockey sometime. It's not fake news. I will play you hockey. I just don't have time, dude. I love you.
At The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.